Now, if I didn't know any better, I'd say that you're looking at running for president.
Do it. Do it. Look at me. Do it. I will personally write you a campaign check now on behalf of this country, which does not want you to be president, but which badly wants you to run.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
There's not going to be a President Donald Trump.
I think that man will be President of the United States right about the time that spaceships come down filled with dinosaurs and red cake.
Donald Trump has been saying that he will run for president as a Republican, which is surprising since I just assumed he was running as a joke.
Donald Trump will not become president.
I continue to believe Mr. Trump will not be president.
Donald Trump will never, ever be president.
Moderator, but apparently believes that Donald Trump is a clown.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
You're never going to be president of the United States by insulting your way to.
Let's see, I'm at 42 and you're at 3.
We have a key race alert right now. Donald Trump now has reached the number of delegates needed to clinch the Republican presidential nomination.
So, right now, Mr. Trump, to answer your call for political honesty, I just want to say, you're not going to be president, all right? It's been fun. It's been great. I love you. But come on, buddy.
Donald Trump, while we project, will win in Kentucky with its 8th electoral vote, in Indiana with its 11th electoral vote, West Virginia, Florida, Tennessee, Mississippi, South Carolina, Alabama, Kansas with its 6 electoral votes, Nebraska with its 5 electoral votes, and Wyoming with its 3 electoral votes, North Dakota with its 3 electoral votes, and South Dakota, Texas, Arkansas, Louisiana, the state of Montana, Missouri, Ohio, Idaho, North Carolina.
I, Donald John Trump, do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Together, we will make America great again.
What's up, Snake Pit? What's up, CobraCast 199? I am your host, D-Day Cobra, and we got a lot to talk about tonight. Holy crap, there is so much news. There's so much craziness, insanity across the board, and I don't even know where to start. You got Hunter Biden. He's now in contempt of court. He's storming out of hearings. You got Christie eating all the food and getting caught on a hot mic. You've got the judge trying to silence Donald Trump. Nick Saban retires from Alabama. I never saw that one coming, but I've got a Sports Wars video for that. Man, just stuff everywhere right now. It's absolutely crazy. I also saw someone in the chat. He's new to the Snake Pit, and he was like, wait, what are you guys talking about? Eric K was having to teach him about some of the memes. I love when we have new peeps showing up to the Snake Pit. So welcome into any of the new viewers. We're kind of crazy around here. We're a little retarded. We're not the smartest group, but we're kind of fun, and we're pretty honest, and that's ultimately all people on the internet are looking for. If you're honest and you treat people with a little bit of respect, they're going to appreciate that. And that's all that matters. So again, welcome in everyone. I appreciate you guys being here. There's a lot going on tonight. There's a lot of streams going on tonight. And I looked and I was like, should I just wait and go live a little bit later? And I was like, no, Snake Pit don't back down. Snake Pit's going live on time. We got things to talk about. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Dan Vasquez in the chat says, I'm a new viewer. Be nice to me. Everyone, please be nice to Dan Vask in our chat. Not because he's a new viewer. Not even because he's a gay viewer. But he did meet a man from Tinder named Tyrone, and let's just say Dan's having a lot of trouble sitting down today. So be nice to him. Be nice to him. I'm just telling you what I heard, okay? I'm just telling you what I heard. I don't know if it's true. That's what I heard. Alan Tanasi said, I heard Christie ate 199 corn on the cob the long way in a day. Sat on corn the long way. Let's see. Ate 199 corn on the cob the long way in a day. Sat on them all at once sideways, but I can't confirm. Scanned in. Dan said, no, wait. Macau Cock says, if Jay says this is my name, I guess it's my name now. It is your name. It certainly is. Lord Bothus says, Harbaugh to Bama. Honestly, it doesn't matter who goes to Alabama. It doesn't matter. You're gonna go into whoever gets hired at Alabama is walking into a losing situation because you're not going to replace Saban. So the next hire at Alabama more than likely is going to be a throwaway hire. Go in there for a couple of years, fail, have everybody miss Saban, and then finally find our real coach. That's essentially how it's going to go. Sad but true. God, I cannot believe Saban retired. I can't believe it. Na says what? I don't even know what you're saying here. Everything's backwards. Something we meme 991. We read laters. It's when Jeremy talked about being an R word. What the hell are you even saying? You guys are intentionally trying to make me sound retarded. Trust me, you don't have to try. Okay? That's the whole thing about it. You don't have to try. Celluloid Dream for $2 says Dan Vasquez gay. A Minty for 20. It's pandemonium out there. They're polishing brass. They're polishing the brass on the Titanic, man. It's all going down. Hail the Snake Pit and the 199. Hail the Cobra Commander. Trump 2024 and for life. Absolutely for life. Dom H dropping 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Python Bacon says, it's my birthday. Hail to the greatest show and chat in the history of the internet. Best of luck to Dan V and Tyrone. It's a beautiful thing, isn't it? It's a beautiful thing. Okay, back to Amenti. Yes, it is pandemonium out there. It is wild. It's crazy. And I'm just going to pull, so Twitter video has been a real bitch lately for me. I don't know why Twitter video. I don't know if it's just me. I've heard a few other people saying that they were having problems with Twitter video as well. So I don't know if some of this Twitter video is going to play for me or not, but we're going to, this video in particular from Vivek. We're going to watch it, and I got things to say about this video, okay? I got things to say about this video. So let's listen to what Vivek has to say right here.
The system wants to narrow this down to a two-horse race between Donald Trump and a puppet who they can control. And it has become increasingly clear that puppet is not a Democrat. It's not even Gavin Newsom. It's Nikki Haley. It's in our own party. Well, today, one more step in that plot unfolds. Christie drops out. Next up, I'm going to make a prediction. You're actually going to see Ron DeSantis join Nikki Haley's ticket. He's going to be her VP. The whole game, it's hiding in plain sight. Whatever it takes, and this system will stop at nothing. And I mean nothing. To eliminate Donald Trump from contention. It's disgusting. But the same people who have said they're not going to actually take a principled stand against Trump's removal from the ballot. Haley and DeSantis are both in that category. Do the math, people. That's next up. Ron DeSantis says after Iowa, everybody, including Christie, apparently got a phone call from Ron DeSantis. Panicked was the word that Christie used. This is the way the plot's going. Ron may not know this. Ron DeSantis may not know this, but that's what his donors are going to make him do. That's what's coming next. Ron DeSantis will become Nikki's VP, whether or not Ron knows it. It's not really his choice. He's not the one in charge of that decision. And then the plot continues. We have to open our eyes and not fall into their trap. Our America First agenda cannot end. Our movement cannot end with Donald Trump when they take him out from contention. And if you think this system is going to even let this man get anywhere near the White House, we need to open our eyes. We need to do the right thing for our country. They are selling us the rope today that they're going to use to hang us tomorrow. Do not fall into the trap, people. And that's why I'm here.
So, a lot to unpack there. But I want to focus in on the part that I don't like about what he said, and it bothers me that he said it and the way he said it. And let me find it right here.
Fall into their trap. Our America First agenda cannot end. Our movement cannot end with Donald Trump when they take him out from contention. And if you think this system is going to even let this man get anywhere near the White House, we need to open our eyes.
So the fact that he's even saying that he's basically selling you that they're never going to let Trump back in. That I find unacceptable. I find unacceptable. And I find that to be him grandstanding, I'm telling you, man, I know everybody's fallen in love with this dude, man. There's just something that I don't like about the way that he talks. It's extremely manipulative if you see beyond what he is. Like, there's the surface level side of what he's saying, and it sounds cool and it sounds awesome and it's rah-rah, but there's a lot more going on. Him intentionally saying that they will never let Trump back in, and him acknowledging that he believes that Trump will be taken out, that's him putting it out there so that it's easier to digest when it happens. That's what he's doing. But the reality of it is let's go and do his hypothetical. Let's go ahead and run along with your hypothetical that they take Trump out and that we have to continue the America First. If Trump is denied the White House, America is done. It's over. There is nothing else. If they can take out Donald Trump, then there's no one else that can stand up against anything. He is the end game. If he is taken out, nobody can overrun the system. That is the fact of the matter right there. And again, it feels to me like he is still just trying to manipulate his own personal brand through this. Now we go back to the other stuff that he said about Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. Let's listen to this one more time.
The system wants to narrow this down to a two-horse race between Donald Trump and a puppet who they can control. And it has become increasingly clear that puppet is not a Democrat. It's not even Gavin Newsom. It's Nikki Haley. It's in our own party. Well, today, one more step in that plot unfolds.
Well, he's right about that. He is right about that. Nikki Haley is a Democrat. She 100% is. She is a puppet to the system. But so is Ron DeSantis. Ron DeSantis is too. The problem is, the difference is that, and I'll be clear here because, listen, man, we all get fooled from time to time. I once thought that Ron DeSantis was an actual man. It's clear that he is just as much a female as Nikki Haley. But she actually does, I guess, identify as a female, whereas Ron is still trying to identify as a male. But he's just as much a female as Nikki Haley. That is just the truth. And the warmongers and the puppeteers are so infatuated with a woman that they can put up and prop up like Nikki Haley. So that's why she's their favorite.
Christie drops out. Next up, I'm going to make a prediction. You're actually going to see Ron DeSantis join Nikki Haley's ticket. He's going to be her VP. The whole game, it's hiding in plain sight. Whatever it takes, and this system will stop at nothing. And I mean nothing. To eliminate Donald Trump from contention. It's disgusting. But the same people who have said they're not going to actually take a principled stand against Trump's removal from the ballot. Haley and DeSantis are both in that category. Do the math, people. That's next up. Ron DeSantis is after Iowa. Everybody, including Chris Christie, apparently got a phone call from Ron DeSantis. Panicked was the word that Chris Christie used. This is the way the plot's going. Ron may not know this. Ron DeSantis may not know this. But that's what his donors are going to make him do. That's what's coming next. Ron DeSantis will become Nikki's VP, whether or not Ron knows it. It's not really his choice. He's not the one in charge of that decision. And then the plot continues. We have to open our eyes and not fall into their trap. Our America First agenda cannot end. Our movement cannot end with Donald Trump when they take him out from contention.
See, man, I still, man, he says we can't fall into their trap, but then he accepts that they're going to remove Donald Trump, being he's the one that he's pushing their trap, all while saying we can't fall into their trap. It's very manipulative bullshit. It's very manipulative. We can't fall into their trap. The very next thing he says is co-signing their trap. I don't like that at all.
And if you think this system is going to even let this man get anywhere near the White House, we need to open our eyes. We need to do the right thing for our country. They are selling us the rope today that they're going to use to hang us tomorrow. Do not fall into the trap, people. And that's why I'm here.
Yep. So all this is ultimately, this entire video from him is what he's doing this. I'm telling you guys, man, he's doing the same thing DeSantis was doing, but he's so much better at it. He's smarter. He's more articulate. He's more savvy. But he's essentially saying, hey, MAGA, when they take out Trump, I'm your guy. That's what he wants. That's what he's doing. When they take out Trump, I'm your guy. Remember, I'm the guy. I'm the one that didn't throw Trump under the bus. I'm the one who kept preaching about MAGA. I'm the one that called out Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. I'm the one. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Now, on another note, we do have this one right. Oh, wait. No, that's not the one I wanted. If I can find it. There's a video of Christie, if I can find it.
So get this now, Hunter.
Got everything going. Where's the Christie leaked video? Oh, here it is. Here it is. Here it is. Here it is.
We know we're right.
So this is the hot
We know
mic
we're right.
that Christie got busted on. And he says that DeSantis is petrified and that Haley will get smoked. So this just happened today. This just dropped today. Herb Thompson says, I think you're reading too much into what he's saying. I'm taking a very smart and articulate person who doesn't mince his words, and I'm holding him responsible for the words. He didn't say if Donald Trump is taken out. He said when Donald Trump is taken out. He is a smart guy. He's very savvy with his language. He knows the words he's using, and he knows the meaning behind his words. So I don't think I'm reading too much into it. I think I'm taking him for exactly how I should be taking him, as a very, very, very smart, articulate person who knows what type of words he's using. Listen to this.
We know we're right, but they don't want to hear it.
Right.
And there's, we couldn't have been any clearer.
Right.
We couldn't have been any more direct or worked any harder. So,
And let's not forget she spent $68 million.
Yeah.
I mean, we spent like
Well, when you give land to China and places like that.
Yeah, that's what you get.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, she spent $68 million so far, just on TV. Spent $68 million so far, $59 million by DeSantis, and we spent 12. I mean, who's punching above their weight and who's getting a return on their investment,
The fact that he said who's punching above their weight, Chris, you've never punched above your weight, buddy. Never in a million years have you punched above your weight, because it's not humanly possible, okay?
And she's going to get smoked, and you and I both know it. She's not up to this.
she hasn't even been.
And she's still 20 points behind Trump in New Hampshire, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he's still going to carry Iowa, right?
Yes. Oh, I talked to DeSantis, called me, petrified that I would.
He's probably getting out after Iowa.
Well,
Where's the rest of the video? Or where's the rest of the audio? Why did that audio get why did that end at that point? Why did the audio end right there? There was more to that conversation. Now, I don't know if the rest of it has leaked out, but where is it? That's what I want to know. So again, man, chaos is happening right now. It's wild. It's crazy. It's out of control. And I don't know what to think. I really don't. I don't know. It just seems like the melt. And we've got this news about Donald Trump being basically silenced by the judge in New York in the civil trial. I mean, it's just insane. Insane, to say the least. So, again, let's see how many people we have here. We got a great crowd here tonight. I appreciate you guys being here. We are looking at a catastrophic nightmare, and I'm just telling you, like, a lot of times, there's times where we may overhype things, we may oversell things. Everybody has been talking about 2024 and how bad it could be. How bad could it be in 2024? How crazy is it going to be? We are 10 days into 2024, and it has already surpassed the early expectations of where we are right now. And I don't think we are, I'm telling you, I've been saying it since last year, I don't think we're prepared for what's about to happen. We got Big Mike Obama out there, basically sending signals that Big Mike is going to retire from the NBA as a all-star center, 7-foot center, to run for president of the United States. And not even run, because essentially what is going to happen is, I will go back to a year ago, all right? A year ago. I've been predicting this since me and Ryan and Suresh had that political show on this channel. And I said, they are not going to let Joe Biden run. Joe Biden is not going to run for president in 2024. He is not mentally there. He is not there. And they covered it up in 2020, but they cannot cover it up at this point in time. He's too old. He's too senile. And there's just no way. There's no way in hell. And so now we're past the point where they can basically insert someone based on him having health problems or him having, whatever. They could come up with 1,000 different reasons. Again, I see Ripa's in the chat right now, and Ripa's good. You think I can co-sign it? Ripa can co-sign what I'm about to say more than anybody. Your votes really don't matter, especially in the Democratic side, okay? The Democrats have proved your votes do not matter. They proved that when Bernie Sanders was clearly the front runner and clearly defeating Hillary Clinton, and the superdelegates came in and basically decided, hey, Bernie, we don't want you. And Bernie, like the good old cuck that he is, just bent the knee and said, yes, sir, falls in line and does whatever the party tells him to do. So the Democrats have already proven that your votes don't matter to them. They're not interested in your votes. They're interested in the illusion of your votes. They're interested in you believing that your votes matter. But the reality of it is they don't. So Joe Biden will, again, I sit here today praying to the Lord above, all right? I pray to the Lord above I am wrong. I hope that Joe Biden is the nominee in 2024. I want nothing more than Joe Biden to be the nominee in 2024. All right? But I do not believe he will be. I do not believe that the powers that be believe that they can put the illusion that this man actually wins, because they can't. They did it last time with COVID. They're not going to be able to pull that off this time. They need something more convincing. And it's either going to be Big Mike or Little Gavin. I don't know which. But those are the two front runners. It's either going to be Big Mike or Little Gavin. That's what I know. So, anyway, we'll see. But yeah, shout out to Ripa and the Ripaverse. My boy's crushing it as always. And it won't be Kamala Harris. Okay, it just won't. That's an absolute fact. It will not be Kamala Harris. All right? There's no... Listen, man, the Democrats are very evil, okay? They're very evil and very manipulative. I promise you right now, there ain't a Democrat that's in power or a leftist that's in power that believes or even wants Kamala Harris as the president. They don't want that at all. They don't want that at all. There's no doubt about it. They don't. But 2024 is going... Well, I'm trying to get
somebody's
this video
asking...
pulled up. My God, why is YouTube being retarded?
Somebody's
right
asking
now?
Pat, why are you...
All right, there we go. YouTube, fuck you, YouTube. You're always pissing me off with this shit. I got a video from Valuetainment that we're going to check out. It's the 2024 bold predictions, okay? Bold predictions in 2024 that we're going to cover. But before we get to that, we got to see who all's here in the house, all right? I see all of our peeps up here in the house. We got Hayden Wayne for 50 says he's correct when he says the system will stop at nothing to remove Trump. It's the people versus the system. We messed up the minute the government stopped fearing us. They will do everything possible to lie and cheat. We need to handle it legally. I mean, 100%, man. I don't, again, this is the thing about him. I don't disagree with a lot of what he says, okay? I don't. But it's little things that he says that bothers me. It's little bitty things that he says that bothers me. And that one in particular, the when Trump is removed versus, if Trump is removed, that's not just a simple mistake. He knows what he's saying. He knows what he's saying. Jed, I can't find the list, by the way, so I don't know what I'm looking at here. So if you can help me out, I can't find the super chat list, so I don't know where the hell I'm looking. So,
here, hold on a second.
Okay, you're just gonna drop a link. Just send it to me on Twitter. Just send me the link
All
on
right,
Twitter.
will do.
All right, thanks. But yeah, so, and again, I've you guys know I've kind of been kind of hot and cold with Vivek. And look, man, I'm willing to continue to be proven wrong. One thing I've noticed is Trump has not attacked him. Trump has not attacked him once, which is very interesting. He's gone after Haley. He's gone after Meatball Ron. He's gone after Fat Christie. He is not, to my knowledge, in chat, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's if I'm wrong and Vivek was working with Trump the whole time, that'd be fantastic. But I just don't know. I think Trump is doing a town hall tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Isn't he? Is Trump doing the town hall tonight? Should we be reacting to the town hall? Is that happening tonight? I mean, I could pull that up right now. I might get. I don't know if Fox will hit me for it, but we could watch the town hall from Trump if you guys want to. Let me see if I can find it really quickly. He has no reason to, in my opinion. Well, that's true. That's true. I will give you that. When is the Trump town hall? Is that tonight? Or is that, that is tonight, right? Maybe it's after Jesse Waters goes off at 9. Okay. Well, then there we go. We're going to be, you guys want to watch it? Let's ask the chat if they want to watch it. All right. Watch Trump Town Hall. Watch Trump Town Hall. There we go. Right there. You guys let me know. You guys let me know what you want to do here. I listen to the people around here because that's what we do around here. We like to listen to the people of the snake pit, the one and only snake pit. I'm trying to find, all right, the doc there. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that spreadsheet situation, but we're good now. We got it. All right. And sorry, guys, I'm trying to pull this up. Why is it giving me a prompt? It's saying like files owner's in the trash, or file is in owner's trash. You will soon permanently lose access to this file. Huh.
That's what it was telling me this morning, but it didn't tonight when I opened it up.
All right. Well, I can't access anything.
All right. I can do a copy just like I did for daily. I'll send you that link.
Okay, cool. All right. Let's look at this one real quick, and I'll get to the super chats here in just a minute. Well, I can get it at a couple of them right now. We have Piano Dean for 10 says, how to play a piano 101 for the 199. You have to press the piano keys in the correct order, sometimes more than one at once. And there's a rhythm to it too. If you do it just right, it sounds good. Where else are you going to get this type of education from? What other YouTube chat has people sending super chats so that the low tier famous internet host, being myself, very low tier, and that's, still stretching it a little bit, reads it to you and teaches you that? Like that's pretty good stuff right there. CobraCast. You get piano lessons. You get me misreading words. You get me ranting about how Christie is an extremely fat disgusting, ugly piece of shit. I know other shows with cast in the name, they're probably a little more politically correct than that, but not here. We just call Chris Christie what he is, a disgusting slob of a human being who has probably not seen his penis in the last 40 years. Just calling it like it is. All right, let's see. Greg Kirby, I got you, Greg Kirby. Greg Kirby becomes a new member. Thank you, Greg Kirby. I appreciate that, brother. I saw that earlier. Sumo Orange says, Casey DeSantis has a bigger caulk than Ron. At least Christie can see when he lifts, he folds. Obama has one, but Trump has trouble hiding his 12 inner. Thank you, Sumo Orange. Funny as hell, man. Good Lord. King of Biltong says, good evening from Anton's Roanoke, Texas. Look us up for your high-protein beef snakes. We built Biltong air-dried beef countrywide, and we'll drop it at your door free when using code 199. What? Got a code? Do I get a kickback on that using my code 199? All right, listen. This is CobraCast. We copied Timcast, so we're going to have to go after you illegally if you're grifting off us. I'm just kidding. I don't know who you are, but grift away, my friends. Grift away indeed. Lover of Green says, shout out to the homies in the 199 Discord. Phantom X, Bluto 20, Warren Smith, 0 Omega ZX, The Lost Tales, Objectively a Cat, Z Highness, and Cam Man 1984. Hail to these lads and the 199. Absolutely. J Rock says, Jeremy, your troll is back. Who? Let's see. So the town hall tonight's at 9. So is this going to be kind of like, is he going to be taking Q&A from the audience? That's going to be kind of cool. So that'd be okay. I'm interested to see how that goes for sure. Gerald Armstrong says, Vivek just said on Timcast that he's in it till the very end. Yeah, I mean, again, I don't know what I think. I just don't know what to think about the guy, man. He knows how to say all the right stuff. And so I guess time will tell. Time will tell. Britton J. Orwin says, I appreciate you calling out Vivek, smooth talker and saying the seemingly right things. Where have we seen that before? Obama. I stand with Trump. Been loving the snake pit. Rock on, Jeremy. 100%, man. I've said it 1,000 times. I will say it again. I am not interested in any other politician except for Trump. That's it. That's the hill to die on right now. And no other politician. Again, I still take it as it stands right now. If you're running against Trump, you're running against America. That is my view right there. That's it. You know, I think Vivek had like a nice little bump there for a while where he was really kind of elevating a little bit. But at the end of the day, there's two different factions here. There's the MAGA side within the Republican Party, and then there's the rhinos that are supporting, you know, either Haley or DeSantis. And there's nothing left there for, like, the people that are they're supporting DeSantis and Haley are not going to support Vivek or Trump. And the people that are supporting Trump aren't going to support Vivek. So he's really I like that he's out there busting his ass, but what are you actually trying to earn at this point in time? You're polling at like single digits, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Time will tell. Christian Rucker says, I'm hurting, Jeremy. Carroll fired, Saban retired. Been a rough day for sports, bro. Speaking of that, I did put out a tweet. To one Aaron Rodgers, and I basically told Aaron Rodgers, since Pat McAfee has basically decided, hey, I'm too scared to have you on my show because you made a joke towards Jimmy Kimmel about Jeffrey Epstein. So now Pat McAfee, because he works for ESPN, he's basically bent over for ESPN and tucked his tail and ran. I sent a tweet out to Aaron Rodgers, and I'm like, hey, Aaron, feel free to come on my show anytime and slam Jimmy Kimmel constantly. I'll help you slam Jimmy Kimmel. All right? Again, are you seriously going to cuck for Jimmy Kimmel, Pat McAfee? Like, really? Like, that is bad. That is really, really bad. Now, some have made the argument that, Pat McAfee, he never had, this was the postseason, so Aaron Rodgers was not supposed to come back for the postseason. I don't think that that's the case. I think that if Aaron Rodgers wants to come on your show, you would have Aaron Rodgers on your show. But, I've never been a fan. Like, I was a Brady guy, I was never an Aaron Rodgers guy, but he's been one of the greatest quarterbacks in the league for forever. And since COVID, he's been calling everybody out. So his comments about Jimmy Kimmel, he pretty much took some shots at ESPN as well. And now ESPN is essentially, it's what it seems like, has told Pat McAfee, you can't have Aaron Rodgers back on because he was mean to Jimmy Kimmel and he brought Jeffrey Epstein up. That's essentially what has happened. So I'm all in on, hey, you want to come on my show, Aaron? Let's go. And then people are like, well, they paid him all this money. We'll give him our super chats. Come on, Aaron. Let's go, man. Let's do it. So we'll see what happens there. But a very interesting development. And it's why it's disappointing that Pat McAfee went down that road, because he was kind of he's become the number one kind of voice in all of sports media, but he was an independent voice. And then ESPN came knocking and offered him a lot of money. And now, he's basically been neutered in a lot of different ways, and that's very, very disappointing to say the least. But hey, here we are. Modalicious says, my local AM radio said Christie couldn't gain enough traction in the election. My internal monologue shouted in razor fist voice, that's the only thing he couldn't gain. Yeah, I heard that. Oh my gosh, man. Chris freaking Christie. All right, before Trump's town hall, let's see if we can run through this video really quick from Valuetainment. 2024 bold predictions. Here we go.
Are you calling 2024 the year of chaos? Let me explain to you why. Because 2024 is known as the greatest election of all time, not because of America, but because 40 countries' election are happening this year. Most ever amount of people voting in a single year. You know what the number is? 3.2 billion, that's 41% of the world. $44.2 trillion of GDP, that's 42% of the world. So what does this do? Here's what happens. Think about the chaotic place you've ever been. What causes chaos? DMV, chaotic. Hundreds of people there, right? Concert, chaotic. Leaving a football game, traffic, parking lot, chaotic. New York City, chaotic. Las Vegas Strip, New Year's Eve, chaotic. Airport, chaotic. What causes chaos? A lot of people trying to get through something fast at the same time. This year, 41% of the world is trying to elect their leader. You know what countries? U.S., we're one of them. India, you want me to go through some of them for you? Pakistan, Indonesia, Venezuela, Mexico, Sudan, Taiwan, Tunisia, Austria, Belgium, UK, South Africa, South Korea, European parliamentary election, and more. 25 more is happening this year. And the people of power don't like it when there's so many moving parts because they're losing control.
100%. It is. Obviously, America's the big dog, and that's the prominent thing that will be focused in on. But it is a massive amount of potential leadership shifting that we could see worldwide. And we've seen some leadership changes that were very shocking to the powers that be already. But it all begins and ends with America. And that's why Trump is the biggest domino, as he always is.
People of power don't like the fact that there's a lot of losing of power.
Except for Chris Christie. Chris Christie's the biggest domino.
Economically, politically, all these, including spiritually, some of these religion and churches that are running around the world. So today we're going to make some predictions. Some of them are going to come true. Some of them are not going to come true. But a few of them are going to get you saying, really? You believe that's going to happen? Yes. We believe this is going to happen. like 2024, where everything is predicated based on election, you have to be thinking about like the largest Christian nation in the world's elections going on this year, U.S., the largest two countries of Muslims in the world, elections going on this year, Indonesia and Pakistan, simultaneously at the same time. What's the first tipping point? Because, you know, when you look at media, we already know one prediction with elections that's going on. In May of 2021, 39% of Americans watch cable. Then it dropped July 2022 to 34.4%. Then January of 2023 went to 30%. Then July 29%. So mainstream media is going lower and lower and lower. First prediction, this will be the last election that mainstream media is going to have the majority influence over. This is it, mainstream media.
Woof. I mean, he's not wrong. And that's why this is so freaking crucial to the mainstream and the powers that be. Because if you look at the data, if you look at the analytics, if you look at the rise of independent content creation, if you look at the fall of the mainstream media and their influence, this is the last main election that the mainstream media is going to have any significance. Because in 4 years from now, they won't have any significance. They won't have any. So this is the end game for them. And if they lose power here now, boy, oh boy, oh boy, it will be really bad moving forward.
Enjoy it. It's going to be the last one for you. Because 2028 election in America and worldwide, it ain't no longer going to be mainstream media. It's going to be a complete different story with podcasts, independent, all those guys that are doing what they're doing. You will be gone, mainstream. That's number one prediction. Enjoy this final ride of yours. Then guess what? Go retire your jersey and your teleprompter, and then afterwards, maybe even your earpiece. You got to hang it up because you got to figure out how to do this without a teleprompter there in 2028 and somebody telling you what to do, because that's changing. Now let's talk about elections. You know what the pandemic did to us? It made many people lonely in America.
I love you, Pat. And he's going to get his BetterHelp in. You know the rule, okay? We love Patrick, Bet David, love Valuetainment. He's going to do his BetterHelp read right here, his ad read. So, again, we respect the grift around here. So we let the ad reads go, okay? Because we do respect the grift.
Offers you is the opportunity to connect with over 30,000 licensed therapists who are trained to listen and give you helpful.
And thank you for the 5 gifted memberships that came in. Dugenheim, I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, it's weird he's working with BetterHelp because BetterHelp can go fuck themselves.
But if you run to coworker family, it's a little bit embarrassing. BetterHelp, you simply do it on your phone. You talk to somebody, but if the therapist doesn't work out for you, they'll replace it with somebody else at no cost. Didn't
BetterHelp go through like a massive controversy a few years ago with a bunch of online YouTube personalities or something? Like something bad happened with them. I can't remember.
4 million people have used BetterHelp to live healthier and happier lives, and all you need to do is click on a link below or go to betterhelp.com/valuetainment to get a 10% discount on your first month of therapy with a licensed professional specific to your needs. Think about what's going on, why I call this a year of chaos. The year of chaos is when people panic, right? Oh my God, I'm losing control. Why are they losing control? You know why? Tell me movies where two groups that were pinned against each other finally realize they're not each other's enemy. Behind closed door, somebody is pinning you against the other person. In the movie Gladiator, remember that scene where, show your face, Gladiator? And he turns around, shows his face,
Great
and then
scene.
who unites? You have
Great
the Emperor,
scene.
you have the fans, Colosseum, and you have the Gladiator, right? At first, they're together. All of a sudden, they team up and pin against him. They realize he's the manipulator and he's the enemy. And these guys unite, right? You remember that movie, and same with Divergent, same with Hunger Games, where you realize somebody is pinning you against each other. You know what's going on to the world today? We're realizing the people of power who are afraid of losing their power. These organizations like the World Economic Forum or the World Health Organization or all these other political elitists, they're afraid because you and I are realizing we're not enemies. We're still looking at each other and saying, why am I hating you? Dude, I just disagree with you on 6 issues. I agree with you on 92 other issues. What the hell is going on? This year's is going to be unification with weird, not everybody, of course not, because you can't get everybody, but we're going to unite this year. It's going to be weird. They're not going to like it. The manipulators are going to hate it, and we're gradually going to come here. So there's going to be an element of unification, and the people who you hated 6 years ago, people you voted for, 7 years ago, people you voted for, you're going to be like, hey, that guy's as not bad as I thought he was going to be. So this is why I think
we need to unify behind Donald Trump. That's what I've been saying for 2 years now. Just fall in line, support Trump. He's the guy. He has Easily, he has the most influence. He has the biggest base we've ever seen for any politician in our lifetime. He's the guy. Fall in line, support Trump, let them know that we are standing behind Trump. We are standing firm. We're not going to bend. We're not going to break. We're not going to let your January 6th bullshit scare us. We're not going to let you try and paint MAGA to be this, whatever they try to call it, terrorist or domestic terrorist, they've tried to paint MAGA. Like, quit letting them intimidate you, because they don't really matter unless you allow them to matter. It's really what it comes down to. Here we go. Oh, what's up, Tom? And Tom rated us over on Kick. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate you, bro.
Vox says 55% chance. You know who's going to be the president this year in 2024? It's going to be Trump. That's what they're saying. And by the way, I kind of agree with them. I think Trump's going to win election this year if nothing crazy happens. And so that's the next prediction I'll make to you on who's going to be the president. I think Trump wins election. And if you believe Trump's going to be winning election, you know what that means? You think S&P is going to hit 6,000 before the end of the year. If you're part of the camp that thinks Trump's going to get elected, S&P is going to go to 6,000. End of the year, if not Q1 of next year. Could even happen all this year. The other part that we have to be thinking about, one of the most important dates for the year is going to be August 19th through August 22nd. Why? That's the DNC convention. Republicans are going to have it July. Democrats are going to have it in August. When that happens in August, here's what many people are going to think is going to happen. Between now and August, they got about 7 months, 8 months. They have to be thinking about who's going to be their face in the starting lineup. They know they're not going to win with Biden because data shows any president's.
I saw somebody said, Jeremy sounds very culty now. I mean, if you want to believe that, that's fine. It's retarded to think that. I'm speaking in reality, and the reality of it is there's nobody that can beat Donald Trump on the Republican side. That is a fact. I don't give a damn if you cry over his tweets. I don't care if he's too mean. I don't care if he offends you. The fact is, there is not another living human being that can defeat Donald Trump for the Republican nomination. That is a fact, and your feelings don't give a fuck about it. So with that fact being there, support him or have the left run your life. That's the reality of it. That ain't cultish, that's reality. And you don't have to like reality. You can kick, you can scream, you can say Orange Man bad, you can cry, you can say he said grab her by the pussy, and that hurts your feelings because you've never been in any environment where there was another man apparently that talks like that, which is total beta behavior, by the way. Or you can just understand that it's not that serious. Either way, that's the truth, and the truth hurts.
Approval rating under 40% doesn't get reelected has never happened before. So if Democrats go into DNC with that guy being their face, what they're saying is we know we're going to lose. Okay? So they have 7-8 months behind closed doors. Guys like Obama's got to get involved, and they got to start doing some negotiation to replace Biden. And who that person they're going to replace with. There's a lot of people that see this as an opportunity. Some want Michelle. Obama's, I don't know, want Michelle. Hillary's dying to be that person.
What did he say? Did he say Hillary's dying? I know.
Democrats don't want Hillary. Newsom wants to be there. How is Kamala going to step down? Is Biden going to come out and apologize? Hell, is it going to get ugly? Nobody knows. But that convention that we're going to hear in August is going to dictate. It's going to be the tipping point of a lot of different things. Can you have a formidable person to go up against Trump? We don't know. We'll find out by then. So 3 things so far we've talked about. Number 1, last election, the mainstream media is going to have majority of the influence, and it's done with. Number 2, Trump president, November 5th, U.S. election. It's going to be crazy, but it's not even going to be close. And the next one that we have, August 19th through 22nd, the DNC convention, they have to introduce to us who their candidate is going to be. Those events, those second and third event is going to dictate whether S&P is going to go to 6,000 or S&P is going to go to 3,000, depending on who wins November 5th. So this next part is going to contradict what I told you on who's going to be the president, because the next part is about a potential black swan event. What could definitely happen this year that's a little weird, all the movies, the timing and everything. You know, we had pandemic in 2020. You did not expect that to happen.
See, this is it right here. They're going to do something crazy. And I don't know what it's going to be, but something insane is in store. And that's the scary part, is what are they capable of? They shut the world down. Why did they shut the world down? You know why they shut the world down. They shut the world down to get rid of Trump. And look, as smart as Trump is and as savvy as he is, he could not overcome the COVID stuff, and he kind of got pulled into it a lot as well. That's a valid criticism of Trump. He got pulled into the COVID bullshit. They put on a full court press on him. And COVID was done because Trump needed to be taken out.
Happen. There could very easily be a cyber attack, a power grid type of a crisis taking place in October of this year. Imagine if that happens. Accidentally, October 18th, maybe it's on my birthday. Hey, it's a power grid shut down. The power is down and it's China's fault and it's Russia's fault. Oops. Elections came out. President such and such got 92 million votes, most ever. How did you count it? Well, we were counting all of it by hand. But guess what? Power is back up November 13th and everything's awesome. Isn't that great? Something crazy like that could also happen this year. Now, if we, the people, expose all of this gamesmanship up front so they know if it does happen that the people are naive about it, then that can be prevented. Again,
Thank you. And that's the whole point behind it. It's to show that there is an optimistic message to this. You can paint doom and gloom, all right? You can paint the fact that we see this coming. What can we do to stop it as an individual, as a person? I'm just a guy on the internet, all right? I have no power. I have no real influence. I'm just an asshole that talks shit on the internet, and a few people enjoy it. But there are people out there that have real power and influence that need to wake the fuck up. And that's the reality of it. And what he's saying right here makes perfect sense.
If people unify, that can be prevented because all they're using is fear of one side to create the other side as the enemy, as delusional people, and they pin you against each other. They sell a massive crisis called the grid, and that's why you couldn't vote. And one side's going to say, what do you expect them to do? It's all China's fault. It's all Russia's fault. No. It's internal. Remember how he started this video? The people who have control and power don't want to give it up. That's why I call this year the year of chaos. Some of these guys are about to lose a lot of power. They don't like that. They're not accustomed to that. They can't stand that. They know 2024 is that year where they're going to have to give up that power control card. So they may be willing to go and try everything possible to not give up that power. Do not be surprised if that happens. Here's the other part that's kind of weird. You know, a lot of these companies, with all this crisis that's going on economically, the companies haven't been squeezed yet to lay off a lot of people, right? Unemployment is still relatively around 3.5% to 4%. Nothing crazy has happened. However, these corporate debt payments that they're paying, they're not lowering interest rates. And yes, they're going to lower the rates this year. But if you look at this chart right here, look at the increase from 2023 to 2024 in U.S. corporate debt maturity wall. And in 25-26, this is not going away. So what are people going to do with that? And what happens if earnings for companies drops off and all of a sudden you're hearing these constant earning calls? Well, they didn't hit their numbers. Well, they didn't hit their numbers. Well, the rates are going down. Yeah, but they didn't hit their numbers. What are the company going to do? They just laid off 3,000 more people. They just laid off 2,000 more people. They just laid off 4,000 more people. Well, I thought market's going to go up. And then roughly 40% of companies are looking to replace human employees with AI technology.
That is terrifying. But it's going to happen. I mean, again, I don't know if anybody knows this, but I come from the retail world, okay? We are at a point now where you remember when technology at first, it was cool. You're like, man, this is cool. Yeah, now you go into a Walmart or a Publix or, wherever your local, retail grocery stores are, and there's almost no real cashiers. It's all self-checkout. And sometimes there's like a couple of human beings that oversee the self-checkout, but you're training your replacement essentially. And it'll get to the point where AI and robots are going to be stocking the grocery shelves. You know what I mean? And they're going to be able to do it faster than I ever did it. And I was really good at stocking the shelves, but a robot's going to be able to do it far quicker than I am. All right. That's the reality of it. It's scary.
Google alone is preparing to lay off 30,000 employees in its ad sales unit for AI technology transition. And you ready for this next data? Ready? I mean, it may concern you a little bit. For 2024, 22% of companies planning layoffs may let go. You know what percentage? 30%.
Somebody said better. Who said that? Somebody in the chat said Better learn. Yeah. Let's see. Wicked Inn says, better learn to be a robot checkout technician, just like that episode of South Park where all the handymen were millionaires. Oh, South Park.
Or more of their employees. Let me say it again. 22% of companies, that's 1 in 5, are planning on laying off more than 30%, that's 1 in 3 of their employees in 2024. AI is here. If somebody gets elected that brings the level of confidence that the consumer and the voter has, they're going to be delusional. They're going to be like, at least somebody's there that's going to be leading the case, right? As long as that person's going to be there, I'm going to be okay. So if somewhere in August, September, this happened last time in 2016. In 2016, an article came out saying Wall Street and New York has said that Hillary Clinton's going to be the president, 80% chance. That day, the market dropped nearly 1,000 points because everybody was afraid. But flip it. Same article comes out and says there's an 82% chance that Trump is going to get elected president on November 5th. There could be a day of the market going like this, 1,100 points, 1,200 points. If some very influential names say something like that. So again, but this corporate debt payment and what these numbers, this is not like a thing that has to do with the economy. This has to do with something that we've been waiting for the season to come. It could come at any time in 2024. Again, we'll see. One thing to look out for in 2024. When it comes down to war, in 2022, we had more casualties due to war than we had in the late 80s.
Okay, so we're going to stop there. Shout out to Valuetainment. We're getting ready for, I'm assuming this Trump Town Hall is about to start. Simplistic, thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. I appreciate that. We all do. So it looks like the Town Hall is about to start. I hope I can watch this. I don't think they're going to hit me on this, but I have no idea. I'm assuming I can watch this. So
You have the Ron DeSantis team saying, look, we're going
to mute that here. So we do have it right here. It won't play, will it? It's not. Oh, you know what? I think I have to turn something off. Isn't there Hailstorm or Jed? Isn't there something I have to turn on so it'll capture that screen, or did they just have it blocked to where I can't watch it? Let's see here. It's something in OBS. Let's see. Or is it going to be on YouTube? Let me see if I can find it on YouTube. I don't know if it's going to play on YouTube.
If it's the browser that's blocking you from seeing something, it's most likely hardware acceleration, the setting you need to turn off.
And can I do that? Can I do that while I'm live? Oh, in Chrome?
Mm-hmm.
Let me go into okay. Because I've had to do that before. So let me go into my settings really quickly here.
How are you sharing it?
I was just sharing it through browser source.
Browser source.
Display capture, or I think it was display capture. How did I do that? Let me see how I have that. Give me just a minute and I'll show you. I'm doing this through content window. So yeah, I'm doing it through display capture. So don't know why. So yeah, but the thing is it's capturing everything. It's not capturing YouTube TV. That's the problem. So when I switch to YouTube TV, it's not capturing it. So it's not capturing any of that window.
And it's just browser. Black. You see everything like the browser, just YouTube TV itself is black or something like that.
Yeah, it shows like Jesse Waters Prime Time. It shows like the font. It's just not showing the video. So I think
you may need to do a window or display capture or display capture. Try that.
Okay, let's see. Don't know.
Or I'm sorry, window capture.
All right. I don't know if we can do this. No, it should be. I'll try it, but I don't think this is gonna work. So, window capture. Okay, and let's see what it picks. No, it's still not picking it up. So.
Yeah, that sounds like hardware acceleration.
Capture method. Window. Nope. I'm trying chat. Let's see. Yep, it will not capture it. Nope. Damn it. I'm trying here. Yep, it will not do it. So what can I do? How can I do this? Hardware acceleration, in my Google account?
Yeah, in Chrome, you go to the Chrome settings in the top right, and then you can just search for hardware acceleration.
Okay, let's see if that'll work. Dun, 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 dun. Give me a minute, peeps. All right, we're going to do the BRB, so I'll be... Desktop view. There we go. All right, we're here, boys. We are back.
Are undecided. That's why they're here tonight. Some of them have been here more than one night
What
over
up,
the course of
peeps?
this week because they look forward to questioning the candidates. And tonight it's the former president and the GOP frontrunner. And we note once again that none of the campaigns have input into who was invited, what the questions are that will be asked tonight.
Thank you for being here. Mr. President, we appreciate you making the track.
All right,
And
we're
before
here,
we
boys.
begin,
We are back.
We want to offer our condolences to you and the former First Lady Melania Trump for the loss of her mother last night.
Thank you very much. Great woman. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
We do want to note that today there was some breaking campaign news. Take a listen.
It's clear to me tonight that there isn't a path for me to win the nomination, which is why I'm suspending my campaign tonight for President of the United States. I am going to make sure that in no way do I enable Donald Trump to ever be President of the United States again.
So that was the big news late today.
Echo's gone.
The
I fixed
former
it, guys.
governor of
My bad.
New Jersey
That was my
dropped
bad.
out of the race in New Hampshire. You saw it there. There's a lot of speculation now that there could be a combining of forces of the people who supported him. He had about 12% there. And by some estimates, you're ahead by an average of 14 in the Real Clear Politics average polling in New Hampshire. So if that 12 goes to Nikki Haley, she could give you a run for your money there.
Well, you know, you have Democrats in New Hampshire, and they vote, and you have independents in New Hampshire in large numbers, and they vote. And I have polls that show me leading by a tremendous amount in New Hampshire and a lot in Iowa, and nationwide we're leading by almost 60 points. So I'm not exactly worried about it. I understand New Hampshire very well. I've won it twice and did very well with New Hampshire. I love the people. They love me, I think. We did a good job for New Hampshire economically and even from the standpoint of the military, taking care of the vets. And I think we're going to do very well in New Hampshire. Now, you know, Chris Christie was in, and he got a hot mic I heard about. I thought actually the bigger story wasn't the fact that he dropped out. Nobody cared too much about that. But he had a hot mic where he was talking to somebody about the weather, and he happened to say that she doesn't have what it takes. She'll be creamed in the election. And I mean, I know her very well, and I happen to believe that Chris Christie is right. That's one of the few things he's been right about, actually.
So you don't think it changes the dynamic much?
I don't know if it does or not. Look, we're winning tremendously here. I think we're 20, 24 points up. I brought some polls if you want to see them, you know, just in case. But I think we're 24, 25 points up. But New Hampshire's interesting. It's a great place, a great state, unbelievable people. But they allow independents and Democrats to vote in the Republican primary. You say, what's that all about? So it's a little bit false in that regard. But even with that, I think we'll win substantially.
Mr. President, we want to get to our first questioner. Robert is an optometrist from Ankeny. Robert, where are you? Do you know which way you're going to caucus on Monday?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can we ask you?
I'm going to vote for the third time for President Trump.
Oh, I like him.
I knew I liked Robert. What's your question for the former president?
I just wanted to say also thank you, President Trump, for your support of the vets. My wife and I and my oldest son are all veterans of the United States Army, We appreciate what you
Thank you very much, Robert.
Some of my friends that supported you in 2020 are not this time because they believe a Trump presidency will bring 4 years of chaos due to your haters. What is your response to them?
Well, I think, first of all, I'm glad you're asking the question. And I'm very glad that you started off by saying you're with me because I want you on my side. I figured maybe Fox would have written that question if it was just the second part of the question. But just so you understand.
We didn't write any of the questions. You all wrote the questions, just to be clear.
We'll figure that one out pretty soon. But they have chaos now. They have chaos at the border. They have chaos in the military. People are going woke. We have the greatest military in the world, except for the top, where they want to, turn this beautiful thing we built. We beat ISIS, knocked them out. It was supposed to take 4 years. I did it in literally 3 months. It was supposed to take 4 or 5 years. But we have chaos now. Look at today with Hunter Biden going into Congress and just sitting down and the bedlam that's been caused. Today you have chaos. We have, I think, more with Joe Biden. He can't put two sentences together, and he's representing us on nuclear weapons with Putin and Xi and all of these very smart people. The media hates when I say they're smart. But let me tell you, they're very smart and they're very cunning. And I think he had very little chaos. I think most of the chaos was caused by the Democrats constantly going after me. And remember this. Remember that with phony, Russia, Russia, Russia. I mean, if you look at Ukraine, 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 everything was phony. The FISA warrants, the lying to Congress. They had chaos. They were the ones that caused the chaos. We didn't have chaos. We got the biggest tax cuts in history, the biggest regulation cuts in history. I had no wars. I'm the only president in 72 years. I didn't have any wars. And they love that narrative, but they use that narrative because they have nothing else. Now, the new narrative they have, as you know, is I'm going to be a dictator. That's going to be the new narrative because a guy like Biden, there's nothing he can run on. Everything he's turned out, it's turned out badly. The border is a disaster, the worst border in history. I think the worst border in the history of the world. We had the best border in the history of our country. We never had a border like that. So I think we had very little chaos. I think we had tremendous success. And frankly, until COVID came along, and then we did a great job on that, too. We never got the kind of credit that I got on the economy, but we had the greatest economy in history. And you take a look at our numbers. The numbers were so much better than they are right now. We had no inflation. We were energy independent. We had so much energy. We were ready to start supplying energy, selling energy to Europe, Asia.
What an answer, man. Like, this guy controls
and then when
everything.
COVID came along, we had to do a little bit of a course change. But we had an incredible 4 years. Again, the greatest economy in the history of our country with no inflation. Pretty good.
So I just want to follow up. Yeah, thank you for your service and for your question. Thank you for being here tonight.
See you, Baltimore.
One of the things that Ron DeSantis said in a town hall this week was that it might feel good to Republicans to vote for you and support you in the primary. But he felt they shouldn't leave the general election potentially up to 12 jurors in a D.C. court. What do you say to him about that?
Well, it's a witch hunt by its weaponization. If you look at it, it's election interference by Biden because he can't win it fair and square, so he's doing that. And interestingly, you see what happened in Georgia with Fannie Willis and $1 million almost to her boyfriend as the prosecutor of Trump. That one's blown up now. It's horrible what has taken place. But it's very interesting when you look at Ron's numbers. He's practically out of the race. In fact, a lot of people say he's leaving the race after Iowa because he's doing so poorly. He's also doing very poorly, as you know, in New Hampshire. I mean, really poorly. And I'm leading Biden in every single poll that's been taken over the last month or two. I just see one. I'm leading in Michigan by 11. That's great. The auto workers are smart. They know that Biden has sold them down the tubes with the electric cars, all electric car mandate, the craziest thing I've ever heard. And they're going to all be made in China, too. So I think when you look at what we've done, we are doing a great job, and we did a great job. And that's why I'm leading in the polls by 60 and 70 points.
You know, in recent days, you seem to issue a warning that if in the courts, and even the U.S. Supreme Court, if they didn't treat you fairly, that maybe there would be bedlam in the country. Use that word, bedlam in the country. And in the last 2 days, at the same time, in the last 2 speeches, President Biden is focusing his campaign on the threat to democracy and political violence. Take a listen.
I'll say what Donald Trump won't. Political violence is never, ever acceptable in the United States political system. Never, never, never.
All right, so to Robert's question, this is clearly a focus of the Biden campaign. So can you say tonight that political violence is never acceptable?
Well, of course that's right. And of course, I'm the one that had very little of it. Take a look at wars. Again, I didn't start. I wasn't involved in wars. We beat the hell out of ISIS. We won 100%. We brought our troops back home. Look at the violence that we've had. Look at the violence we have recently.
Right, but when you say bedlam, what do you mean?
I think you have bedlam. I think you look at Joe Biden, it's bedlam. You have a man who can't lead. You have a man who can't find his way off a stage after he makes a speech that lasts for about 2 minutes. No, I think bedlam is Joe Biden. I think that he's using this. This is just a political ploy. Trump is a dictator. He wants to be a dictator. You know, it's interesting. I did a show, Sean Hannity. Did you ever hear of him? He's a very nice man. And he said, essentially, you're not going to be a dictator, are you? Tell me. I think he was trying to give me a nicer question than maybe you guys would. He meant it very well. I said, I'm going to be a dictator. For one day, we're going to do 2 things. The border, we're going to make it so tight you can't get in unless you come in legally. And the other is energy. We're going to drill, baby, drill. After that, I'm not going to be a dictator. After that, I'm not going to be a dictator. So
you weren't saying that if the
and the press picks it up. So I said, I'm going to be a dictator for one day. They cut it. They go, I'm going to be a dictator. But they cut the rest of the sentence. No. I am not going to be a dictator. I'm going to manage like we did. We were so successful that the country was coming together. It was actually coming together and coming together well. It was a beautiful thing to see. And we're going to do that again.
All right, let's bring in...
By the way, that's why I have the poll numbers that I have, because the people, I think this audience is an example. Man. I mean, I asked a question. I said, how many people came last night? How many people came the night before? And I got a very honest answer. Not many compared to what we have. We had a great crowd and have a great crowd.
We want to hear from some more of them.
We do have a big crowd tonight. That's absolutely true. So let's hear from Jane Jack, who is a teacher from Rhodes, Iowa. Jane, thank you so much for being here. And you said that you plan to caucus for DeSantis, but you're not completely decided. Is that right?
No, I will be caucusing for DeSantis. But I will say, Mr. President, I am extremely grateful that in your first term, you accomplished so many great things, but it was also with the help of many great people. Since that time, you have publicly criticized and personally demeaned so many of them. If you're given 4 more years, how will you convince good people to take the risk of working with you?
So I have a lot of people that want to work with me. I have people calling just as I'm getting on the stage. I had a call from 2 of the very most important people in the military who want to come to work for me. Everybody wants to come to work for us. We're going to have no trouble. We had great people. We had a couple that were not great, stiffs, as I would call them. But that's true with anybody. But now I've gotten to know Washington. I've gotten to know the people. I know the best. I know the smart ones, the dumb ones, the weak ones, the strong ones. And I think you're going to see something like you've never seen before. And the people in this room know it. We did an amazing job. And the reason, we have support is because of the job we did. Now, you like Ron DeSantis, but he wouldn't even be around today. He'd be working in a pizza shop or perhaps a law firm if I didn't endorse him. I endorsed him, took him from nothing to winning an election. And I was all for him. And then one day he said he'd run against me 4 years later after I got him in. And I said, that's not a loyal person. We can't have that. That's not a loyal person. So I think you'll be very impressed with what we're going to do. We're going to have the greatest economy in the world, which we don't right now. We have horrible, horrible inflation. And, you're never going to get that 30% down. You might even it, but you're not going to get it down. So, but thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Let me just ask you a follow-up on that about who would be in your cabinet, in your administration. If you are the nominee, which I know you expect to be, who would be in the running for vice president?
Well, I can't tell you that, really. I mean, I know who it's going to be.
Give us a hint.
We'll do another show sometime.
Well, what about any of the people who you've run against? Would you be open to mending fences with any of them?
I will. I've already started to like Christie better.
Christie for vice president?
I don't see it. That would be an upset. Christie for vice president. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to announce.
I do want to get to this other question before we move on to the big issues, and that is Jacqueline. She is from West Des Moines, and I think you said you're undecided, or you're making your decision.
That's correct.
And do you have a couple people that you're looking at?
Trump and Vivek.
Okay. Good. And what's your question tonight for the former president?
My question is, I would like to know, what do you plan to do in your next term that you didn't quite get finished during your first term?
Well, one of the things would be energy, even though I set records on energy, but I was going to be energy dominant. We were energy independent, and we had your bills down low. We had your gasoline for the car down to $1.87 a gallon. We had it down even lower than that at some points. Now it's at $4 and $5, and that's not acceptable. Your home heating bills are 4 and 5 times higher than they were with me. So I'd be doing that. I'd finish up the wall. You know, we built over 500 miles of wall. That's one of the reasons we had and we got Mexico, by the way. We got Mexico, very importantly, to give us 28,000 soldiers free of charge. That's more money than anybody can even imagine, free of charge. And we also remain in Mexico policy, not remain here, remain in Mexico. So we did a lot of great things, and I would just say we're going to just keep expanding. We rebuilt the military. We even did something that hopefully nobody in this room needs, but right to try, where we're able to use space-age medicines that won't be approved for 4 or 5 years that work in many cases. And I've saved thousands and thousands of lives with right to try. Thank you very much.
So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to go talk about the economy when we come back. That is the #1 issue in every poll on voters' minds.
Chat, you are killing me with the whole Vivek. I saw all of you going crazy. So we are on a commercial break right now. I appreciate everybody being here. Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host. And I think I do a pretty good job of being quiet when the real superstar is talking, which would be Donald J. Trump. He's so damn funny, dude. Like, everything about his mannerisms, the way he delivers lines, his responses, it's the comedy show, man. And he's just got such a natural charisma that it's just insane. But that Vivek comment was so funny. That woman just learned who Vivek Ramaswamy was right before the show, when Fox basically gave her notes as to, hey, here's what you need to say. Vivek. Okay, sure, you're really following the political world right now, aren't you? So, but Trump seems to be, he seems to be in really good spirits. The man's 77 years old, and he's out here just being a rock star and entertaining as hell. It's so great. And we've got a great crowd here tonight, so appreciate you guys being here. Again, we will be going live later tonight on my Cobra 199 channel, playing some video games. So stay tuned for that if you are interested. Man, you guys, no matter what stream I'm on, the chat always makes it better. And you guys have made the gaming streams insane. Yesterday, the gaming stream that we had last night, all because the chat was like, here, they were putting stipulations in place of what rules we had to follow in order to get the win. And it was a hell of a stream. We're going to put an edit together on that one, but I'm looking forward to it. What's up, Willie Will? My boy Willie Will in the chat. Hello. And again, thanks for all the gifted memberships. Beastie Man 420 dropping a gifted membership. Thank you. I appreciate you being here, man. And I saw Voldemort says, just testing to see if I can super chat and if I'm really banned from super chatting on YouTube, or if Benny Bro is just soft. Trump soft, and says, you love Trump and you're great company. Well, thank you. No, you're not banned here. And to be clear, accept your money, whether you love me, hate me, or even if you're a toxic, horrible person. I still will accept your money, and I will fully appreciate it. So, let's see. Greg Kirby says, do you play Minecraft? I've never played Minecraft, outside of maybe once or twice. I don't understand Minecraft, but during Tuesday night's main event last night on the Geeks and Gamers channel, our chat voted that they want us to start playing Minecraft. So I might learn it. So we'll see. Savvy Sue just dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you, Savvy Sue. We appreciate it. Simplistic says the grift is strong with this one. 100%. You know that, Simplistic. You know that better than anybody. And yeah, if you are new to this area of the internet, we have a very awesome chat, a very generous chat. They love dropping those gifted memberships. I think we're even adding the freeloader emoji, because we have people begging, they're like, hey, give the freeloaders some gifted memberships, and I think we're adding that. I don't know if it's been added yet, but we are working on it. But yeah, so just JK says Minecraft is gay. Well, I mean, you know how often I get called gay for playing Fortnite, and that's what I'm playing tonight. So we will see. Just make Jay do it. Jeremy is a true grifter. I mean, I am. Grifting ain't easy, but somebody's got to do it. Jake Skywalker says, this is the denounce white supremacy question. Yeah, I'm interested to see what their angle is going to be, because Trump is already kind of trying to get ahead of the curve because he feels like Fox News is going to try to sabotage him. So I guess we'll see. We'll see what happens there. But so far, so good. He's handling the room like he always does.
Welcome back to our town hall with former President Donald Trump, live from Des Moines. Let's get back to some questions.
Yeah, let's get right back to our questions. This one's from Shelley Flockhart. There she is.
Hi.
Shelley, thank you for coming out tonight. What are you thinking about Monday night and who you're going to support? And what's your question for President Trump?
He's sitting right there.
Oh, thank you. I knew that. I knew that when I looked at you.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yes, so my question is, you're a business owner. I'm a business owner. I own a small business and time is money. Would you ever allow a shutdown in the future?
A shutdown in terms of COVID?
Mm-hmm.
Or a shutdown in terms of budget? Because, you know, they're talking about a budget shutdown right now, but you're talking about a COVID shutdown.
Correct.
No, I wouldn't. And I never did. I let the governors make their decisions. And some of them, like from South Carolina, you know Henry McMaster, and frankly, North Dakota, a few of them. Tennessee, they didn't shut down at all. Florida did shut down. Ron DeSantis shut down. Or, as he's known, Ron DeSanctimonious. He shut his state down very violently, actually, and shut the highways down, the roads down. But we had, I'm a federalist in a sense, because that's the federalist way. No, I didn't actually have a shutdown, despite the fact that some people wanted to, and some people didn't want to. But we had some great governors. The governors that did the best job were Republican governors, and they were the ones that didn't shut down.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Love you.
Appreciate it.
So, but a lot of people say, you know, that you listened too much to Dr. Fauci.
Yeah.
You were president at the time, could have perhaps influenced keeping things more open. And of course, Ron DeSantis would definitely argue with your characterization of how he handled it.
But if you go back and look at the records, you will see that the biggest fan of Dr. Fauci was Ron DeSanctimonious. He was a big fan. He said, I go by, exactly, quote, I go by what Dr. Fauci said. He said that 2 months in, all the way through, and then eventually changed when it wasn't, you know, that wasn't the dessert of the day. But Ron DeSantis was a big Dr. Fauci fan, and nobody wants to cover that. I say it every time. I don't care if he was or not, but, you know, when they hit me with this question, Dr. Fauci was not a huge factor in my administration. He became a much bigger factor in Biden's administration. He was there. He was somebody that was in government for 40 years. He did it for 40 years. So a long time. And what do I say? You know, you've been doing this for 40 years, get out. But he wasn't a big factor with me. He was a really big factor after I left with Biden.
You know, on an economic shutdown, you said this week in an interview that if there's an economic crash, that you hope it happens now.
Yeah.
That you don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
I don't want to be
But
Herbert
you're
Hoover.
not saying you're hoping for a crash, just to be clear.
No, I think this. I think the economy is horrible, except the stock market's going up. And I think the stock market's going up because I'm leading Biden in all of the polls, every single poll for the last, with states that normally are not easy to lead. You know, when you're leading in Pennsylvania, you're leading in Michigan, you're leading in Wisconsin. We're leading in virtually every state and of the swing states. And overall, we're leading by a lot nationwide. But I would say this. We have a situation which I believe the stock market goes up because I'm leading. I think if I wasn't leading, the stock market would be 25% lower. And I think, frankly, if I didn't win, I think the stock market would crash.
Yeah,
I
but you
believe
said
that the
when there's a crash, I hope it's going to be during this next 12 months because I don't want to be Herbert Hoover.
Well, I think
Just to be
there
clear.
will be a crash if I don't win. And I say that, and I do not want to be Herbert Hoover. Do you know who Herbert Hoover was? 1929, he was the president, and that was not a good time to be. I don't want to be Herbert Hoover, and I won't be Herbert Hoover.
So with regard to, when Governor Haley was here the other night, she talked about the $8 trillion added to the debt when you were president. How do you address that? What would you say?
Very easily. We were doing better than anybody has ever done for 2.5 years. And then COVID came along. We were getting ready to start selling oil to Asia, to Europe. We were going to pay down our debt, where we were at that time at like $29 trillion. Now we're $36 trillion. But we were going to start paying down our debt. We were going to do things that nobody could believe. You take a look at Saudi Arabia. You take a look at some of these countries. Take a look at Russia. I mean, Biden drove up the cost of energy. That's what caused inflation. But it's also what caused Putin to become rich enough to go and prosecute a war. And he never even talks about it. He's the one that caused that war, both rhetorically and by the fact that he drove up the price of oil to $100 a barrel, which is getting close to record. And Putin was making a fortune. He's the only guy who made a fortune during a war. If he didn't have it, I was at $40 a barrel. If he was at $40 a barrel, Putin wouldn't have done it. Now, he wouldn't have done it for another reason, me. He wouldn't have done it. But he also wouldn't have done it because he couldn't have done it because oil wasn't high enough. At $100 a barrel, he made a lot of money, and he's making a lot of money because it's so high.
So when
and it's also what caused the inflation, because energy is so big, it's such a big deal that when energy goes up, if you make donuts, if you make hamburgers, anything you do, you have trucks that deliver your product, you have to heat your stoves, your ovens, anything you do, it's all energy. And we had the highest cost of energy in history. You know, when they talk about New Hampshire has the highest price of energy, the highest cost of energy of any state in the nation. They should vote for me because I'm going to cut their energy price in half.
So when Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis hit you again and again on this $8 trillion figure and call you a big government Republican, what do you say to them?
I say very simply, we were starting to pay down debt. We were going to pay down a lot of debt. When COVID came along, if I didn't inject this country with money, you would have had a depression, the likes of which you've never seen. You had to inject money. We gave businesses that were going bankrupt, temporarily bankrupt, but they needed money. We helped businesses. If I didn't do that, you would have had a depression in this country. That was a very good investment. And now what they should be doing, instead of the kind of debt that they're building at record levels, they should be paying down their debt, and they ought to go into the energy business instead of this green new scam business that they're in.
But what about the future? What about cutting spending? $34 trillion in debt. You know, let's look at what you would do in terms of getting that number down. What would you get rid of?
We have a lot of cutting, but we also have a lot of income. We have more liquid gold under our feet, energy, oil and gas, than any other country in the world, more than Saudi Arabia, more than Russia. And when I came in, we were number 4. When I left, you know, not that long a period of time, 4 years, we were number 1 by a lot. And we were soon going to double up Saudi Arabia and Russia combined. And we were going to make a lot of money. We have a lot of potential income. DeSantis wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. Nikki Haley wants to cut Social Security and Medicare. Nikki Haley wanted to raise the age from 65 to 74, 75,
But
or 76.
only for young people in their 20s. I mean, that's going to run
That's
out
what
of
they
money.
say. That's what they
So at some point, someone
Yeah.
has to address it, right?
That's what they say when it starts. They say only for young people. It's only for young people. And then it doesn't work for young people, and they end up getting up to people that are of the age where it matters. No good.
All right, let's go to Kim, a small business owner from Brines. Is that correct? Kim, where are you?
That is correct.
Do you know who you're caucusing for Monday?
I am proud to say I am a caucus captain.
For?
President Trump.
With a white and gold hat.
I have that white and gold hat.
Thank you very much. That's beautiful. Thank you very much.
What's your question for the former president?
Okay, you've said that you can take care of the border in 24 hours after taking office. How will you gather the several millions that have already entered our country illegally and return them to their country of origin?
Great question. It's not sustainable for our country. We have millions and millions of people here. It is not sustainable. Did you see in New York City where they're getting the regular students out and they're putting migrants in their place? We are going to have the largest deportation effort in the history of our country. We're bringing everybody back to where they came from. We have no choice. We have no choice.
You know,
Thank you.
Denise is here as well. Denise, where are you? You know, Denise came to our town hall last night. She came in saying that she was, if I remember correctly, you were leaning towards President Trump, but you did say you heard some things last night that you liked. So where are you tonight?
Oh, boy.
I spoke with a lot of my really close friends after last night. They were all up and wanted to know how it went. And we got back to President Trump. We just...
I love you.
Okay.
Well, you were waving. He just mentioned, I think, something that you're concerned about. What's your question?
You just answered part of it, that our kids were displaced in New York City.
That's right.
In the place of illegal migrants. So what I want to know, in the spirit of making America great again, can you do something about the sanctuary cities?
Yeah. Well, they're going to be ended because the Democrats are going to end them because you can't sustain it. If you look at New York, you have a mayor of New York who now is really hostile to the administration because New York City, that's my place. I love New York. It's gone. It's had a tough time. The previous mayor was the worst mayor in the history of our country, de Blasio. Do you ever hear of de Blasio, the worst? But what's happened is this country cannot sustain 15 or 16 million people, because I think that's the real number. I think by the time his administration ends, and hopefully quickly, it's going to be 18 million people. That's bigger than New York State. That's bigger than just about every state other than one or two. 18 million people. Remember this. Many of those people come from jails and prisons. Many of those people come from mental institutions and insane asylums, and many of those people are terrorists. You know, I saw on Fox the other day, it was horrible, but beautiful, because from my standpoint, in 2016, they had no terrorists that they know of that came into the country, none. You know, I had the travel ban. They call it the Trump travel ban. They tried to make a big deal. The Supreme Court very intelligently approved it. Without that, we would have had blow-ups. So we had no terrorist attacks at all during my 4 years. We had the Trump travel ban. And by the way, Iran was broke. Iran was broke. I said to China, if you buy oil from Iran, you're not dealing in here. They immediately dropped. India, France, Italy, all of these countries were buying from Iran. Iran would give out billions of dollars to terrorists. They had no money. I watched a Democrat congressman the other day on one of the shows, and he said, I'll say one thing about Trump, he said, Trump. I'll say one thing about Trump. When he did that number on Iran, they were broke. They were absolutely broke. When I left, they were broke. They had no money. There was no money for Hamas, for Hezbollah. There was no money for anybody. They had no money. And you would say that, too. I mean, I think even the two of you would say they were absolutely stone cold. And you know how much money they have now? In 3 years, under Biden, they have $250 billion. Again, the energy business is a big business. And not to mention the 5 hostages that they paid $6 billion for. Not to mention they got $10 billion for supplying some electricity to Iraq, which, by the way, they own. And Iraq has $300 billion, and essentially it's a subsidiary of
of Iran. It should have never happened. Iraq, remember, I used to say a long time ago when I was a civilian, now I'm sort of a civilian, but I think I'll never be quite a civilian again. I'd love to be. But I used to say, don't go into Iraq. Don't do it. Don't do it. But if you're going to do it, keep the oil. Do you remember keep the oil? They didn't keep the oil. So they have $300 billion, and we have nothing. We have nothing. You know, they used to say about wars, to the victor belong the spoils. We go into some place we obliterate it, and then we leave. We are run by fools. We're run by stupid people. But we ran it very smart for 4 years, and we won everything. We won everything.
Mr. President, you're talking a lot about policy. You get questions about what a second term is going to look like. When you're in your rallies, you spend a lot of time talking about retribution. And so there are questions about how much a second term of a Donald Trump presidency, second term, would be about retribution and looking backwards and grievances, and how much would be looking forward.
Well, first of all, a lot of people would say that that's not so bad. Look what they did. Russia hoax, the FBI Twitter hoax, the 51 intelligence agents hoax, all of these different hoaxes that they did. I mean, you know, a lot of people would say that's probably quite normal. I'm not going to have time for retribution. We're going to make this country so successful again. I'm not going to have time for retribution. And remember this, our ultimate retribution is success. When we had, just prior to the China virus coming in, if you don't mind, I'd like to be accurate as opposed to COVID. It is the China virus. It came out of Wuhan. And I said a long time ago in your show, it came out of Wuhan. They were saying it came out of caves, bat caves, 2,000 miles away. It came out of Italy. It came out of France. No, it came out of Wuhan, the labs. And by the way, I don't think it was done I think it was done out of incompetence. That's what I think. I believe that a scientist went out, said hello to his girlfriend, and that was the end of that. She died, and then people started dying all over the place. But who knows? Who knows? I can tell you one thing. I got along with President Xi, but I took in $400 billion in tariffs and taxes from China. And one of the reasons China's not doing so well today is because of those tariffs. And Biden wants to cut them. You know, he got paid off by China after all, so he wants to help the people that gave him a lot of money. But he's a Manchurian candidate in a true sense. He got money from China. He got money from Russia. You remember the debate where Chris Wallace, how is he doing, I wonder? But Chris Wallace, when I said to Biden, I asked him a question. I said, how come you got $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife? And Chris Wallace wouldn't let me ask me. I said, why are you stopping this? Now it's turned out to be a big deal. He got $3.5 million from the mayor of Moscow's wife. I tell you this, we're going to have a success that's so great that hopefully, I won't have time for retribution. There won't be retribution. There'll be success.
Mr. President, before we wrap up this, you know, there is this report, House Democrats, documents that say that nearly $8 million in payments to your businesses from foreign governments, China included, Saudi Arabia, while you were in office. They say Article 1 of the Constitution says you can't accept money from foreign governments while president. Would you pledge to divest from your business in the second term as other presidents have done? So that's what they're reporting.
I own hotels all over I don't get free money. Somebody rents a hotel room, et cetera, et cetera. Much money I gave back. In fact, I didn't have to do it. You know, George Washington was a very rich man. People don't know that. In his essentially White House, which wasn't built, but they had an office, he had a business desk and he had a country desk right next to each other. You're allowed to do that. I didn't do it. I put everything in trust. And if I have a hotel and somebody comes in from China, that's a small amount of money. You know, it sounds like a lot of money. That's a small. But I was doing services for that. People were staying in these massive hotels, these beautiful hotels, because I have the best hotels. I have the best clubs. I have the best clubs. I have great stuff. And they stay there and they pay. I don't get $8 million for doing nothing like Hunter. I don't get $500,000. I don't get $500,000 for doing a painting. It's not a bad idea, I guess, if you can get away with it. When I heard that one, I said, there's no way they get away with that. But they got away with that, I guess. They got away with it. No, we have, you know, there was an emoluments lawsuit against me where the radical left sued me for that. And I won the suit. And the judge said, they go to his hotels. What's he going to do?
There you go. We want to hear more from Iowa voters. Sure. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back here in Des Moines with more of our town hall with former President Donald Trump.
Dude just has this. It's magic when he's on stage, man. He's just so funny, commands the room. He's even got the host laughing. You know the Fox News host hate him, and even they're laughing. Checking it out for 20 says, check out the older videos of Trump handshakes with leaders. It looks like he's kind of pulls them towards him, which causes a subservient look. It's awesome. Oh, yeah. It's total alpha male, 100% with Trump on that one, 100%. Dugenheim, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Dom, thank you for the 5 gifted memberships. Thank you guys so much for being supportive. The chat, we got another great audience here. Every stream, every CobraCast in 2024, we have broke 2,000 viewers, and I'll never be able to thank you all enough for being so supportive. And when the crowds get bigger, everybody wants to start gifting memberships, man, because this is a big deal with what we got going on here. And I'm just driving the ship, but ship ain't going nowhere without the people making it go. So thank you guys so much. Soulgeron, didn't you drop 5? Yeah, you dropped 5 as well. Thank you, Soulgeron, and dropped a 199. Appreciate that. 50 Shades of Grayson says, straight up gangster, baby. Hell yeah. Lord Both says, saying he's not interested in retribution, but instead success is smart. He pulled the DeSantis followers and independents with that. Yes, that was a very calculated answer from Trump. I know a lot of people don't think he's calculated, but he is calculated. And that was a very calculated answer from him because and I know, everybody knows that Trump wants retribution. There's no way with everything they've done to him, with how they've targeted him, targeted his family, targeted his business, targeted his legacy, targeted his presidency, targeted his followers. Of course, Trump wants retribution. We know that. But he also knows he can't say that over and over and over again. He just can't do it. So that was a perfect answer that he gave. Perfect answer. Delu, 5 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Joshua Johnson for 10 gifted memberships. Thank you so much. Man, you guys are awesome. Thank you. Love it. Oh, over on Rumble, we had a $50 super chat from... I've got the screen so small so I can actually see all the stuff coming in. But it's Unicycle Peon. I will get to your 50 over on Rumble. Thank you so much. And I see you again, Unicycle Peon, with the 10. So we're live on Rumble, YouTube, and Kick right now. So thank you guys for tuning in. Wherever you might be watching, it's appreciated. Micah F says, Trump Gabbard 2024. Thoughts? Hail the 199. I don't like that idea. It's not the worst idea I've heard, but I'm still very much on the Trump Tucker train. Obviously, I still like Kari Lake. I would love Kari Lake to be the VP, but I like Tucker Carlson, man. He's an outsider. He doesn't want it, which is exactly why he should take it. Are they playing a Jan 6th? Are they playing a Jan 6th commercial right now? Are you kidding me? Wow. January 6th commercial. Wow. Holy crap. That was pretty interesting, wasn't it? Pieces of garbage. Playing a Jan 6 commercial during the Trump town hall. Get out of here, bro. Get out of here. And then Dugenheim dropped 5 more gifted memberships. Let's go. Yeah, January 6th, garbage propaganda. See, it's those little bit of messaging that they're targeting. Pathetic.
Welcome back, everybody, to our town hall with former President Trump. We're glad to have all of you with us tonight. We want to try to get in a few more questions here. We have a lot of good ones. Let's go to Rebecca. She is a mom of 6 from Ogden. There she is. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi.
Are you leaning towards one person or another?
All got leanings here in Iowa. Yes. Yeah, well, for me, it all comes down to this question.
Okay.
So between you, sir, President Trump, and Ron DeSantis, because you both talk a lot about pro-life, your record, and that's my number one issue and the cry of my heart is justice for all people. And I've been, vocal and celebrating with you all of your pro-life victories from the past. But then in this campaign, you've also blamed pro-lifers for some of the GOP losses around the country, and you've called heartbeat laws like Iowa's terrible. And so I'd just like some clarity on this because it's such an important question to me.
Okay.
I'd like for you to reassure me that you can protect all life, every person's right to life without compromise.
So that's a great question. I appreciate it, too. You wouldn't be asking that question, even talking about the issue, because for 54 years they were trying to get Roe v. Wade terminated, and I did it, and I'm proud to have done it. They wanted to get it back, right? You wouldn't have that. There would be no question. Nobody else was going to get that done but me.
Yeah.
And we did it, and we did something that was a miracle. When I walked onto the stage today, a gentleman in the back, probably works for Fox, nice guy, said, "Sir, I'd like to thank you." I said, "For what?" He said, "You saved 2 million lives in the last 3 years. You saved 2 million lives." And I said, "Thank you very much." I knew exactly what he meant. 2 million lives. And nobody's done more in that regard than me. Now, I happen to be for the exceptions, like Ronald Reagan, with the life of the mother, rape, incest. I just have to be there, I feel. I think probably 78% or so, Paul, about 78%. It was Ronald Reagan. He was for it. I was for it. But I will say this. You have to win elections. Otherwise, you're going to be back where you were, and you can't let that ever happen again. You've got to win elections. If you look at it, Ron DeSantis, I don't know what he really believes, because, you never know with a politician, and he's just another politician as far as I'm concerned. But his poll numbers have gone down to a level that he's going to be out of the race very soon. He's going to be out very soon. I watched him last night. He's standing up with his shoes, his fancy shoes. And he's going to be out of the race within, a lot of people say before New Hampshire. I don't know if that were the reason. I hope it wasn't the reason. I hope it's for other reasons. I can see a lot of other reasons why he shouldn't be. But he's doing very, very poorly. It happened to coincide with that because a lot of people say if you talk 5 or 6 weeks, a lot of women don't know if they're pregnant in 5 or 6 weeks. I want to get something where people are happy. This has been tearing our country apart for 50 years. Nobody's been able to do anything. And again, you can only ask that question, and you ask it brilliantly. And I understand exactly where you're coming from. I love where you're coming from. But we still have to win elections. And they've used this. We have some great Republicans, and they're great on the issue. And you would love them on the issue. And a lot of them have just been decimated in the election. Decimated. I mean, absolutely. So we're going to come up with something that people want and people like. I would love you to, first of all, you have to go with your heart, okay? You have to go with your heart first. Go with your heart, your mind, go with it. But you do also have to put in there a little bit. You have to win elections. But if it weren't for me with Roe v. Wade, you wouldn't even be talking about this. You wouldn't be asking that question because we'd right back. And remember this, they're the radicals. We're not the radicals because they'll kill a baby. Remember I had the debate with crooked Hillary Clinton, which I don't call her crooked anymore. I use that now for Joe Biden, as you know. I call her beautiful Hillary. She's a beautiful woman. But in the debate with Hillary Clinton, I said, she's willing to rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month. And, I never heard this. It happened to me. It just came to me during that debate. I didn't go up there thinking I was going to say that. And she even winced. Nobody wants to see that happening after a certain period of time. Nobody. They're the radicals because they're willing to kill the baby in 8 months, 9 months, or even after birth. If you remember the former governor of Virginia, where he said, you kill the baby after the 9th month, or even after you set the baby aside, and you have a conversation with the mother. And if the conversation, can you imagine? But these are the radicals. We're not the radicals. We are not the radicals. But we're living in a time when there has to be a little bit of a concession one way or the other. And I think, I want to get it right. I have to get it right. But without what I did, you would never even be asking that question because there was no chance that was going to happen. For 54 years,
They campaigned on that issue, and nobody pulled it off but me. So I think you're going to be happy in the end. Thank you very much.
All right, let's.
It's always an insane, it's an impossible question.
Bo.
He did it as carefully as he possibly could.
Madrid.
I'm so sorry.
Madrid.
I knew I could get through every city, I thought. Well, Madrid. Do you know how you're going to caucus?
Trump, 100%.
Oh, I like him.
You do have a question.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Okay, how would you de-escalate global tensions and keep the United States out of foreign wars?
Yeah, do it through peace through strength. You know, I just saw something where I was the only president. For 78 years, no war started with. Now I wiped out ISIS. You know, I did a thing that was, I won't go into names, I won't go into specifics, but we did a thing that nobody thought was possible. Did it very quickly. I withdrew from Syria. I withdrew from Iraq. I withdrew. They want to put people back. We're in countries that don't even want us. We're with countries that a lot of you never even heard the names of these countries. You know, there's a great leader, in my opinion, is very strong. Some people say it's terrible to say that, but he is. Viktor Orban, he's the prime minister of Hungary. And they asked him, what would you do? There are wars all over the world right now. He said, what I do is make sure the American people vote for Donald Trump for president, because when he was president, China feared him. I don't want to be feared. But he used the term, I'm not using the term. President Xi's a very tough cookie. But I think they did fear us. China feared him. Russia feared him. Everybody. I even got along with Kim Jong-un. You know, getting along with people with hundreds of nuclear weapons is not a bad thing. You know, they want to make it like a bad thing. It's a very good thing.
Yep.
But peace through strength. They didn't want to mess around. It would have never happened in Ukraine. Russia would have never gone in. Would have never happened. The recent attack on Israel would have never happened. 0% chance that was going to happen. They see a weak president in our country, and they did something that was unthinkable. So we're going to have peace through strength. We're not going to have to fight.
So on the other side,
with that being said, you always have to be prepared. And I rebuilt our entire military. And think of it, Biden gave $85 billion worth of our military to Afghanistan so stupidly. Brand new tanks and planes and everything. 700,000 rifles and guns, 70,000 vehicles, many of them armor-plated vehicles. And by the way, people died. 13 great soldiers died. I've gotten to know the families very well. Many horribly hurt. And hundreds of people killed when you include both. Hundreds of people killed in the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. So I really appreciate the question. And I appreciate very much that you're with me, and I'm with you too.
So from the other side of the party, there are many like Governor Haley who said that you are now more of an isolationist than you were, and that you got many concessions from NATO members as president to increase their defense budgets.
Hundreds of billions of dollars.
But there's a real concern what a second Trump term would mean. Would you be committed to NATO, for example, in a second Trump term?
Depends if they treat us properly. Look, NATO is taking advantage of our country. The European countries took advantage of, I want to use a word starting with an S, but I don't want to do it because I see some young, very good-looking children in the audience, and I assume they're watching on television. But they took advantage of us on trade, and then they took advantage of us on our military protection. Of the 28 countries at the time, only 8 countries were paid up. We were paying the difference. And I went to them, I said, if you don't pay, we're not going to protect you. And they said, do you mean that? I said, I mean that. And the next day, billions of dollars poured into NATO. The reason they have money right now to prosecute what they're doing with helping Ukraine is because of the money I got them. So, you know, peace through strength.
Mr. President, we appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
being here in
Mr.
Des
President.
Moines.
Good to have you with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So we're going to be right back with just a quick final segment right after this timeout.
So I guess that's it. I don't know, man. Fox, I mean, Trump's obviously entertaining. He's obviously funny. And so he made it. They didn't seem to have any gotcha questions. The abortion question, I mean, to sit there and ask the one president in our lifetime that's never started wars, telling him that you're so focused on life and protecting life and all that. Well, you know, maybe go with a guy that didn't start new wars. So it's kind of a dumb question, but whatever. But yeah, just an hour and it's over. I figured they would at least had 2 hours, but maybe not. I guess not. So there we have it. I'm going to hang around to see if they have any closing thoughts from Trump, but I don't think they will. I don't think that they're going to have any. And but we will see. But in the meantime, Knights of Ben dropped 10 gifted memberships. Thank you, Knights of Ben. Lord Pterodax dropped 5 gifted memberships. Thank you. Mozamboni, I see you got a super. There's a lot. I'm going to have to catch up, and I will. So we will read through all of that. We're going to give it time, though, and we will see. Bonus Holy Spirit says, damn, he looks good, no homo. Well, thank you. Oh, you meant Trump. Sorry. I thought I was getting a compliment, you know? Oh, well, I guess it happens. All right, where are we at? So, Dennis Miller commercial. Again, if you're just tuning in, appreciate it. We do this show Monday, Wednesday, Friday, live stream, and we talk about all things, whether it's politics, entertainment, whatever. We're going to be politically heavy for this year for sure, no doubt about that. And let's see, Jeremy, what did Jay think about all of that? Is that what you said? I don't know. You want to find out? We could ask Jay. Tom McD says, perfectly answered the abortion question. Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's an impossible question to answer. You're going to piss somebody off. I think that he definitely answered it about the best way he possibly could. And yeah, I mean, Roe v. Wade's overturned. What else do you want? You know, and Trump understands the bigger picture as well. Yes, Dennis Miller is alive, apparently. Is Scott still coming on tomorrow? I'm waiting to get confirmation. He didn't give a final confirmation. So, you know, initially he said that he thought he would be available for Thursday and didn't get a final confirmation. So I am still awaiting that. So as it stands right now, I am not sure. Still working on it. It was really cool having Malcolm Flex on Geeks and Gamers, Tuesday night's main event. That was awesome. So shout out to Malcolm Flex. And he's a good guy, man. Malcolm knows his stuff. I know he's traveling with Vivek right now in the campaign, which is super cool. And so again, that kind of gives every right to where you would think I would want to just like be all like praising Vivek and all that, since you know, I've been talking with Malcolm and he's traveling with him. That's just not how I am. I'm going to be as human. I'm just going to be as blunt and honest as I humanly possibly can. Hayden Wayne for 10 says, abortion is another major voting issue in Iowa, though. Most of their population wants it banned outright federally. He answered it well, but it was a relevant question for Iowa. That's fair. That is fair for sure. Yeah, he did. It's about as careful as you'll ever hear Trump answer a question, probably, because he understands the ramifications of that one. Absolutely. Christie, hot Mike is hilarious. Absolutely. Yes, Dagnar, Fortnite will be happening on my Cobra 199 channel. I might have to read some of the super chats over there. But we will get through all of them one way or the other. That is for sure. So don't worry. You know, we always do. I still have more I got to catch up on, and I haven't forgot about those. I can't believe that we're still in the clear. So yeah, we got through that one. I'm watching this on YouTube TV, and I definitely had to turn the hardware acceleration, on. I think it was on or off. I think it was off. We had to turn it so that we could get through it, but we did. All right. Put this, edit. Always working. You guys know how it is. Make that public. What time is it right now? 10:30. We'll set it for 10:45. We'll hit save. There we go. All right, here we go.
Thank you for watching our town hall with Republican presidential candidate, former President Donald Trump. We hope you enjoyed the past 3 nights with the candidates as the former president works the crowd here, signing some hats. We also want to thank all the voters who attended our 3 town halls. They braved the elements. There are some elements out there, and asked some really important questions that are really top issues for the candidates in this
Did you
race.
see that shot outside?
Yeah.
It is snowing like crazy out there as President Trump greets some of the people in the crowd here. We also want to thank this Iowa Event Center, there it is, for hosting us. No weather forecast needed. It's quite clear what's happening here. So join us, please, this weekend for Fox's special coverage previewing the Iowa caucuses. Neil Cavuto kicks off on Saturday. The story will be here on Sunday in its regular time at 3 p.m. Eastern from here in Des Moines.
And Special Report will also have a show that
All right, so there you go. It is over, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you for being here. Yeah, we had a great crowd tonight for that, and I'm really happy. I'm really happy that we had such a good turnout. So good on all of you for being here. Hayden Wayne for 20 says 2024. The Chinese Year of the Dragon, authority, prosperity, and good fortune. Specifically, the Wood Dragon, wood evolution, improvement, and abundance. The time for rejuvenated beginnings and long-term success. Let's hope so. 100%, man. It is going to be a wild, wild year. That is for sure. 2024 is going to be a wild one. King of Biltong says, Jeremy, send us your address and we'll send you some products to try on us. See if you like it. Sticks and the Quartering are both fans. Cannot add an email, but look us up. Noted, man. Will do. Two good peeps right there. Kevin Cleary for $9.99 says, or where did it go? Damn it. I am Maximum Diabetes Chris Christius, Commander of the Candies of the North, General of the Food Legions, and I will have my ice cream in this life or the next. Holy crap. That is fantastic. Man, I have not watched Gladiator in forever. I want to watch Gladiator again. I have not watched Gladiator in forever. Unicycle Peon for 50 over on Rumble. Says, I think the globalists and USA have let China invade the USA on the ground in the South. Maybe COVID 2.0 or JFK 2.0, nuke or EMP. Look, man, let's hope not. Let's hope not, okay? Because there's no doubt that they definitely want to take Trump out in some way, shape, or form, and I just hope that it doesn't happen. Lost Hill says, sent a vid to you on X, Jack Posobiec analysis on starting a war to prevent Trump being president. I know he's not the best, but just watch the first 3 minutes. It's highly worth it, in my opinion. I don't have anything against Jack Posobiec. Jack Posobiec soft blocked me on Twitter when I called him out for his ridiculous take on the Tulsa King. But I actually like Jack Posobiec. I don't know if he knows me or if I'm just a Twitter account to him, but he actively soft blocked me. I don't know if people know what a soft block is, but essentially I've always followed Jack Posobiec on Twitter. And when I ratioed him on his horrifically bad take on the Tulsa King, he then blocked me and then unblocked me, so that way it would make me unfollow him. So I never followed him back. But I like Jack Posobiec. He's a MAGA guy, so I like him. Unicycle Peon says, Trump is hilarious. Straight up fire in any conversation. 100%, man. Trump is just funny. Just naturally an entertaining dude. Bass Bunny Love says, did you see in NYC they are taking a high school away from kids? They will force the kids to go to remote learning and use the high school to house migrants. I didn't hear that particular story, but I have heard about some crazy stuff going on for sure. So that is insane. I'll have to check that out. Kevin Cron says, Trump court case in Atlanta is over with what's happening with Fani Willis, Trump 2024. They're all going to collapse at some point, man. All of this nonsense against Trump is going to collapse. They tried it. They tried to break the man. They couldn't break Trump. They could not do it. All of these arrest, indictments, all of this was the attempt to break him. They wanted to break him emotionally, spiritually, I guess, mentally, and they can't do it. They cannot break Trump. They've tried everything. They wanted him to run in fear. And all that happened was he stood there and took it, and his poll numbers have gone up astronomically since the indictment started. And it's completely backfired on him. Jared Armstrong says, the Hunter Biden stuff today was hilarious. Let's check that out really quickly.
Somebody's asking, Pat, why are you calling 20?
My bad. Let's check that out real quick. We got the Hunter Biden stuff. So let me see if I can find it really quickly. Because this is funny, man. This Hunter Biden stuff is hilarious. What Why does it sign me out of my YouTube channel when I'm trying? There we go. Hunter Biden. So I haven't watched this full clip, but this Hunter Biden thing is really funny. So we got to watch this really quickly. Here we go.
Now, Hunter Biden is on Capitol Hill, and so far as I know, Dana, this was not planned.
No, why is David Spunt is in Los Angeles? I'm confused.
So 2 weeks ago, we were sitting here, and we'll re-rack it for you and show it to you. It's just happening right now. You got two committees right now looking at this resolution to hold Hunter Biden in contempt of Congress. All right, that's happening today in two different committees. We were sitting here a couple weeks ago. He shows up on the Hill and goes to the Senate side of the Capitol, delivers a statement, and walks away. And that really ticked off a lot of people. This is the ranking minority member of this committee with James Comer. So Hunter Biden is at that table. Is that right, guys? Is that what we saw a moment ago?
Yep.
All right, so he's inside this room with this committee. Let's watch.
The chairman urged Mr. Biden to come appear at a public committee hearing on September 13th. On Newsmax, the chairman stated, Hunter Biden is more than welcome to come in.
Look at the Benny show getting some love right there in the background. Shout out to our boy Benny Johnson. That's what's
in front
up.
of the committee. If he wants to clear his good name, if he wants to come and say, you know, there weren't 20 show companies, he's invited today. We'll drop everything. On October 31, on a nationwide podcast, the chairman stated, we have mountains of evidence. Now we're ready to bring them in. We're in the downhill phase now because we have so many documents and we can bring these people in for depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose. For depositions or committee hearings, whichever they choose, and we can ask these questions with evidence. On November 6th, again on Newsmax, our good chairman stated, I will extend that invitation on your show right now, Rob, if the Biden family wants to join Tony Bobulinski in an official oversight committee hearing and answer questions that the American people have, then that invitation's open right now. They can come on in and do that. On November 28th, Hunter Biden, through his lawyer, agreed to Chairman Comer's multiple public requests. He agreed to appear precisely at a public hearing under oath to answer the committee's questions on December 13th. Exactly what our good colleagues, the Republicans who had information about January 6th, never agreed to do. They never agreed to testify anywhere under oath about what they knew. The letter that came in from Mr. Biden embraced the importance of having a public proceeding that, quote, would prevent selective leaks, manipulated transcripts, doctored exhibits, or one-sided press statements, especially in light of the committee's past use of closed-door sessions to manipulate, even distort the facts,
Mr. Chairman,
misinform the public.
Mr. Chairman, I have an inquiry.
This is such a shit show, and I love it.
Mr. Chairman, don't we have House rules and committee rules regarding subpoenas and then rules about having hearings and having questions with witnesses that must be followed?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to reclaim my time.
State the rules, Mr. Chairman.
Hold on.
We could just interrupt each other with an inquiry.
Your time was expired.
I'd like to know the rules of the House and our committee.
Dude, politics is legitimately just like House of Cards. That's why I love House of Cards, because it's so accurate to politics. It's so accurate. It's so fucking accurate.
Read them.
They're available to every member.
The rules state for a deposition, if that's what you're asking, 3 days notice. You have to have the stenographer and all of that. So that's.
Mr. Chairman, so just to clarify, we can't have someone just walk in.
Time's expired.
Mr. Chairman,
Do any other members wish to be heard?
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman, I did endure multiple interruptions in my opening. Could I finish? Would that be
Well, you went over your 5 minutes, but I'll give you 30 more seconds.
Okay. The chairman refused to take yes for an answer from Hunter Biden. Instead, on December 1, they pulled a bait and switch. They changed the terms of their request. They rejected his offer or his acceptance of their offer and insisted that he now come in and sit for a secret closed-door deposition. On December 6th, Hunter Biden's lawyer reiterated that Hunter Biden was willing to accept the chair's original request and once again offered to appear on December 13th or any other date in December to answer any question pertinent and relevant to the subject matter. He again raised concerns about closed-door sessions. That's what brings us to today, Mr. Chairman. He has materially, substantially, in good faith complied with what your requests were.
He complied with the subpoena.
We would have
expired.
We would have loved that.
Do any other members wish to be heard? Chair recognizes Ms. Mace from South Carolina.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Chairman Comer. First of all, my first question is, who bribed Hunter Biden to be here today? That's my first question. Second question, you are the epitome of white privilege, coming into the Oversight Committee, spitting in our face, ignoring a congressional subpoena to be deposed. What are you afraid of? You have no balls to come up here and...
Mr. Chairman, point of inquiry.
Mr. Chairman,
if the gentle lady wants to hear from Hunter Biden, we can hear from him right now, Mr. Chairman. Let's take a vote and hear from Hunter Biden. What are you afraid of?
Hold on. Order.
Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Are women allowed to speak in here or no? Could you keep interrupting me?
I'll interrupt the chairman. I don't know that he's a lady.
I think that Hunter Biden should be arrested right here, right now, and go straight to jail. Our nation is founded on the rule of law.
Come on.
And the premise that the law applies equally to everyone, no matter what your last...
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Point of order.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Point of order, Mr. Chairman. Biggs over here.
Donald Trump Jr.
Biggs over here.
State your point, Mr. Biggs.
Yeah, my point of order is this. Are we going to continue on with this blatant interruption? This is absurd and inappropriate. I intend to give my statement. I don't intend to have anybody interrupted. I'm not going to interrupt your statements. I think you should have decorum and courtesy and don't act like a bunch of nimrods.
You just interrupted a woman.
And that's five.
I got permission.
Can we agree? Everyone has
Mr.
5
Chairman,
minutes. Can we agree?
Point of order again. The assertion that I interrupted was absolutely false. That's typical of the gentleman who spoke it. I got permission to speak from the chairman. I spoke. I was interrupted yet again by the gentleman who doesn't choose to go through the chair and follow proper order.
These are the people that are deciding what you can and can't do on a day-to-day basis. Just to be clear, okay? These are the people these are the adults in charge, ladies and gentlemen. These are the adults in charge.
I encourage us, I think if we're going to have any respect at all, we need to have proper decorum.
Well said.
I'd like to finish.
The rules are everyone's going to be recognized for 5 minutes. Anyone that wants to be recognized will be recognized for 5 minutes. Ms. Mace has 4 minutes and 13 seconds left. Chair recognizes Ms. Mace.
It does not matter who you are, where you come from, or who your father is, or your last name. Yes, I'm looking at you, Hunter Biden, as I'm speaking to you. You are not above the law at all. The facts in this case are crystal clear. This committee used and issued a lawful subpoena to Hunter Biden, a critical witness in this committee's investigation into Biden family corruption. Hunter Biden and his lawyers did not claim privilege of any kind because clearly he has none. They didn't contest the legitimacy of our reasons for issuing this subpoena, no reasons, because they clearly are legitimate. And yet he refused to comply. Trump's family members, Don Trump Jr., he did not defy a congressional subpoena. He showed up multiple times for multiple depositions for several hours. In doing so, Hunter Biden broke the law. He did so deliberately. You did so flagrantly. You showed up on the Hill, on the Senate side, the day of that congressional subpoena to defy it and spit in the face of this committee. That's what you did. The question the American people are asking us is, what is Hunter Biden so afraid of? Why can't you show up for a congressional deposition? You're here for a political stunt. This is just a PR stunt to you. This is just a game that you are playing with the American people. You're playing with the truth. Hunter Biden wasn't afraid to sell access to Joe Biden to the highest bidder when he was in elected office. He wasn't afraid to trade on the Biden brand, peddle influence, and share those ill-gotten gains with members of his family, including Joe Biden. He wasn't afraid to compromise the integrity of the presidency and vice presidency presidency by involving Joe Biden in shady business deals with our foreign adversaries. But Hunter Biden, you were too afraid to show up for a deposition, and you still can't today. I believe that Hunter Biden should be held completely in contempt. I think he should be hauled off to jail right now, because it wasn't long ago, too, my friends on the other side of the aisle, that you also believed in the power of a congressional subpoena. Not long ago at all. You believed in holding those who refuse to comply with a congressional subpoena accountable. And I stood with each and every one of you. I am the only member in this room today who has held a member of my own party in contempt of Congress for not showing up for a subpoena. And I see nothing but complete hypocrisy on the other side of the aisle. The ranking member of this committee even so eloquently put it, the lesson is, please tell your children out there in America, if you get a subpoena to go before Congress, go. You have a legal responsibility to do so. So the hypocrisy is stunning. What are we to tell our children today? There's nothing the other side can say with a straight face. As the only member of this committee to vote to hold a member of contempt of my own party, let me be clear, this should not be a partisan issue. If Congress issues a subpoena, you show up, period. This is not a responsibility we take lightly. It brings no joy for us to do this, but the president's son broke the law and must be held accountable in the same way anybody else would. I urge my colleagues on both sides of the aisle to do so. And my last message to you, Hunter Biden, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Will the gentlelady yield for a question? Will the gentlelady yield? Will my friend yield from South Carolina?
Sure.
I do want to commend the gentlelady who was the only Republican who stood up and voted to hold in contempt the Republican members of the House who blatantly and categorically refused to comply with subpoenas that came from the bipartisan January 6th committee. I would like to ask my friend, Ms. Mace from South Carolina, whether she's aware of all the case law which says that the committee has to engage in good faith interaction with the witnesses they've called, and they're supposed to arrive at a solution. And what do you think about the fact that the chairman on multiple occasions gave this witness the opportunity to come before the full committee, and he agreed to that?
We issued a congressional subpoena, and I know with your constitutional law background, you know exactly what that means, and he should have showed up. And because of your vote and because of your statements, you should be voting to hold this man in contempt of Congress today, right now, if you're going to be consistent on your own policies and your own words.
Gentlelady's time's expired. Chair recognizes Mr. Moskowitz for 5 minutes.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
There you go. So there's that. And then I did have another. Let's see. Is this where he storms out right here?
Scott, so what happens now? I mean, Hunter Biden left. It was interesting.
Theatrics are the norm, not the exception. They may be a bit enhanced today because the president's son is in the room and really has a good attendance on that day as the main theatric.
Mr.
Committee to battle, aren't we, over process and principle more than the actual practicality of Hunter Biden's here. And Hunter Biden's team, I suspect, knows that and called their bluff. They have said throughout they'll do this publicly.
Out to attorneys, and as I understand it, his attorneys took questions outside of the room. He got up just as Marjorie Taylor Greene was about to speak. What did his lawyers have to say?
And I'm actually outside the hearing room now, and I say that, Embry, just to pardon the noise, because it's a bit of a antsy scene out here. His lawyers...
Our people are laughing at us, and they should be laughing at us. Twitter had election interference when they basically did away with the Hunter Biden laptop story, protecting Joe Biden. Now you have Joe Biden's crackhead children running around and basically just making a mockery of the system because he gets away with whatever he wants. And this is the result of what happens when people just allow what happened to happen in 2020. You just stood by there because Trump had mean tweets. It's just ridiculous. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. This is a complete shit show. But that's where we are. That is where we are. Okay. Let me get a couple more of these, and then we're going to I'm gonna read the rest of the super chats on the gaming stream. So let me see where we're at. You guys are crazy. Look at all these super chats. My goodness, guys. All right. So we have Daniel Heron says, Nick retired to be Don's VP. Honestly, I don't think so. But I'm so like nothing but respect. Nick Saban retired today. Greatest college football coach of all time. No doubt about it. Roll Tide. It's going to be tough for a few years for sure. Sumo Aron says, the Simps are gayer than Dan Vask. I apologize to Tyrone. AJ Gut Rung says, Trump 2024, let's get him back. Let's go. Fantastic for Snock says, good day and scanning in 199. My opinion, opposition needs to be someone who they can control, and Haley being a woman is a bonus they can use to market the brand. Yeah, I mean, Nikki Haley's the weirdest. The fascination with her is weird because I don't know of anyone that actually supports Nikki Haley. Mikhail Koch for 5 says, had my MAGA hoodie on in town and people were saying they loved MAGA is strong in Houston, Texas. God bless. Hell yeah. Dragon Dan says, Vivek never attacked Trump, but he's still technically running against him. We thought that Cruz, Pence, and DeSantis would never cause trouble either. Very true. East Coast Toasted Boy says he ate it. That's what happened to the rest of it. Talking about Christie. Let's see. Duranus says, that's where I had to stop watching Viva's Vivek interview. He admits his plan revolves around bad things happening to Trump. Doesn't sit right. That's where I'm at on it too, man. That's where I'm at. Hamsters and elderberries gifted a D-Day Cobra membership. Thank you. MC Thomas, do you think the Dem candidate will actually agree to debate Trump when the time comes? I feel like they'll try to weasel out of it. Yeah, I mean, that's, I think they will. I think they'll want to. It all depends on who it is, though. Micah Epps says, off topic, but Tulsi Gabbard is the only choice for VP. Surprised that's not being talked about more. Trump Gabbard 2024. Hail the 199. Look, at the end of the day, I'm going to be supportive as to whoever Trump wants as VP. So there's that. But I have my preferences, obviously. Sir Ruin of House Roundhead, you don't believe that Chunk Uger, Dean Phillips, and Marianne Williamson, because they are all running against Biden now. No, I don't. Not at all. Fantastic Mr. Knox says, Vivek, in my opinion, is quite slick. I'd be wary too. East Coast Toasted Boy, it won't be, let's see, Newsom. Ron DeSantis destroyed him in their debate. I'll be shocked if they still go with him. His fate should be sealed after that. I don't think anybody's really even talking about that. That's just, I know you like DeSantis, East Coast Toasted Boy, and that's totally fine, but DeSantis is not relevant enough to even matter. Like nobody's even talking about DeSantis being destroyed by DeSantis because no one really even watched that debate. It really just, it was discussed for like 24 hours and nobody even talks about it anymore. Big Fig Energy says 50% off. Gerald Armstrong says, Vivek just said on Timcast that he's in it till the very end. The Tactician Musician, have y'all tried playing Jackbox Party Pack on stream? If not, I would recommend. It's one of the most hilarious games for a group of 5 to 8 people. Always looking for party games like that. So, John Jones says, a debate between Nikki Hillary and Ron DeSandwich at the same time as Trump Town Hall. Gee, I wonder which one I should watch. Yeah, they had their debate tonight, right? How bad was that? Ministry of Wrongthink says Vivek and Candace Owens are on Timcast. Yeah, I heard about that. Barry McCalkiner says press Alt-4 and go to settings. Yeah, we got it. The hardware acceleration. Wandering the Desert. Jeremy, I was going to say watch the debate, but I feel that will be rude to the president. So keep watching the Town Hall. Absolutely. Legalize adulthood in the house. Jeremy, glad to see the transition is going so smoothly. When do you take the last step to get your front hole sewn up and come out as Chris Christie supporter? What's up, Legalize Adulthood? How the hell are you, man? I love you guys so much. I love it. David Smart says, Trump 2024, I'm down with Trump. I'm in NYC and it runs and in the ruins and a beacon for illegal immigrants. Shaking my head. I hear you on that, man. Beastie Man 420 says, let's see, just one more year and 10 days till he becomes president again. That's right. That's right. Legalize Adulthood just dropped a 50 gifted membership. Whew. Glad some people hung around for that one. Legalize adulthood. Dropping bombs. Let's freaking go. The snake pit is lit up and going crazy. Holy crap. Blind Lawyer explains, you make every stream gayer. Gayer streams. Omar Pintor says, Chris Christie just dropped out of the 2024 race. He did. Mo Zamboni says, Trump can make it a big change and 100% our spearhead. But much like V for Vendetta, the real lasting change comes when we all resist to BS. Hashtag Hail 199. Absolutely. Mikhail Cox says, would you ever have, is it Kirsch? On, she's a big Trump supporter and an Alex Jones supporter, just had a 7-hour political stream. So VTuber? Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not always looking for guest per se, but I'm not against it. It's just that I don't want the show to be reliant upon guest. Unlike Tim Pool, I have a personality, so I don't need to bring guests on to build my show. There's nothing wrong with that, by the way. But, and I have enough shows where we do have panels and guests and things like that. So again, occasionally here on CobraCast, certainly we'll have guests. But that's not what I'm seeking out to do consistently, because I've done that enough on other shows. And I used to do solo streams on Geeks and Gamers, which is what built that channel up. And a lot of people enjoyed that. And then I moved over to the more panel things and all of that. So this channel needs to be specifically me, because I've had too many other channels that I've built with me and then I blended it into more things. And, some people liked it, some people didn't. This is a Jeremy channel. So that's it. Chris Coran says, Trump 2024, welcome to the rebellion. East Coast Toasted Boy says, you should follow Jack Posobiec just for the troll. Fuck it, I'll follow him right now. Where's Twitter at? Let's see here. I'll go follow Jack Posobiec again. Let's see. All right, so we're gonna go over to Jack Posobiec and follow him. Boom, just followed him. We'll see what happens now. So just follow Jack Posobiec again. First time since he soft blocked me. We'll see. Again, it's one little debate we got into, man. I'm sorry that I ratioed you, Jack. I like you, man. We're both MAGA. So don't get mad at me. Micah F said, see, all it took was a $2 super chat to make me go troll Jack Posobiec. Micah F says, there's a decent Dan Bongino and Tucker part 2 interview. It would be a good listen for a future CobraCast. Noted. AJ Gutrung says, a big fan of you, Jeremy. I follow Sports Wars and I'm new to CobraCast. All right. Well, thank you, man. Yeah. So we have a sports channel called Sports Wars. We have the main Geeks and Gamers channel. We have the Geeks and Gamers Play channel. I have my Cobra 199 channel, which we're going to be playing Fortnite on here in about 15 minutes. So we got a lot going on, man. A lot going on. And last night we were 3rd on YouTube for Fortnite. The 3rd biggest Fortnite stream last night. Gabriel Knight says, Trump, like Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet, is inevitable. Cope and seethe, shit libs. I like it. Cole Howler says, hey, Jeremy, did you see the arrest of my friend David Menzies that went viral? Musk commented on it. Trump will be president 199. I did, and I thought about you when I saw that yesterday. Lord Botha says they need Ian Crossland as committee speaker. That freak out from Ian was funny as hell, bro. Yeah, park hopping. We got a theme park channel. We got a lot of crap, man. Motorlicious says something about Biden's make me think of Jackie Gleason and Mike Henry from Smokey and the Bandit. Smokey and Junior. Hell yeah. East Coast Toasted Boy says, I like both him and Trump. I agree that he should have waited till 2028. Trump earned his second term. Ron should stay in Florida for now, but it is what it is. I hear you, brother. Black Tiger says, surprised Chris stopped running. Why have you seen, surprised Chris stopped running? ? Why have you seen him? Yeah, I heard that, man. I heard that. Let's see. Vault 95 says reparations is just a nice replacement for word for graping and pillaging. 2 governments could declare war on each other and one is destroyed. Then the people are pillaged and exploited with the choices of a destroyed government. Vivek made a good point tonight. Why replace Brandon with Newsom or Big Mike when the establishment can install Haley as Brandon's opponent? Yeah, I'll probably check that episode of Timcast out. Vault 95 says, respect the hotel advertising grift. Trump, Carlson 2024, and the Rumble chat is superior. Hail the 199. All right. Now, we got member messages that we're going to have My Nerdy Home help me read over on the gaming stream. So we're going to end this stream right here, okay? I'm probably not going to, so I'm already probably in copyright hell already for the Fox thing. I've been getting hit with copyright on Sabaton. So I think I'm probably putting my streams in danger by continuing to play it. The video is up over on our Rumble channel, okay? The Sabaton video is up in its entirety over on my D-Day Cobra Rumble channel, but I keep getting hit with copyright claims. I'm scared that they're going to start blocking my videos by using it. So that is that's a banned song that I don't know. I have no idea, but I've been getting copyright claimed, so I'm a little worried about that. But we're going to do it tonight. But I may have to stop. I'm giving the fair warning, all right? Because, again, I want to think about stuff down the road. But as soon as this ends, it will raid the Cobra 199 stream that is happening. And hopefully, for those of you that are interested, you can tune in for some gaming tonight, and it's going to be fun. So we're going to do that. But I really appreciate it. And I know that we got to do sexy back end, okay? We got to do sexy back end because it's a sexy back end. Legalized adulthood just made it blow up. Holy crap. So it's time for the sexy back end, the sexiest back end on YouTube. All right. The sexiest back end on YouTube. And I appreciate it. We have had 130 new members tonight. Legalized adulthood dropped 50 of them. And overall, 130 new members. Insane, insane. And here it is. Boom. Sexy back end, 1,300 likes, $415 in chat revenue, plus the Rumble chat, which probably pushes us over to 500, over the 500 mark, and 130 new members. Please, Rumble, get me some gifted memberships over there. Please, Rumble, let's make that happen. So, with that said, we're going to do the outro, and then after the outro, once this stream ends, this will send you over to the Cobra 199 chat, and you can continue the conversation over there if you choose. I'm just telling you, the chat over there, they're starting to develop their own kind of way to make the streams their own. Real Smile Bit is the one that started this whole thing, where he offers up like 50 gifted memberships or something, or $50, and he sets these challenges, and it forces us to play the match completely different than we normally would. And last night, we had, I'm drawing a blank on who it was. Somebody sent a challenge to us, and it's one of the craziest matches we've ever had, and we ended up getting the victory. And it's all because of, him throwing that out there. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. So I love you guys so much. I love each and every one of you. I appreciate you for supporting what we do. With that said, it's time for the outro, and I'll see you on the gaming stream here in about 15 minutes. MAGA 2024. Support Trump. Stand with Trump. I love you all. I don't think we're going to go live tomorrow for the stream that I was talking about, but I'm not positive on that yet. So if I do get an update on the Scott Pressler interview, I will let you know, but I have not had that confirmed. Initially, it was supposed to be for Thursday, but I have not gotten final confirmation from Scott. So as soon as I do, I will let you guys know. Love you all. Have a great night. We'll talk to you later.
Time to rule at last. 15 years have all been
All right, guys. I'll see you all in a very few minutes. I appreciate you hanging out with us. So again, this stream ends. It will raid on YouTube. It will raid the Cobra 199. For Rumble and for Kick, that's the same channel. The D-Day Cobra channel is the same. I'm going to stop those streams and I'll restart them here in about 15, 20 minutes. Love you all. Have a great night, and we will talk to you later. Bye, everyone.